Hello everyone, welcome to Mindovermania. My name is Christian, and today I am recording another Pick a Group reading, where you get to choose your intuitive messages. Today's topic is going to be, what's really going on between you two? This pile has 5 options, so that way you can determine what's going on between you and another person. This does not have to be romantic. This could be friendship, this could be a colleague at work or school. But in any case, we're going to be touching in to see what's going on between the two of you to help you guys find some clarity. We're going to start each reading off with a vibe check with what you think is going on, and then we're going to tap in to see what Spirit has to say on the matter. In order to select your pile, I want you to take a couple deep breaths, clear your mind, think about the person, visualize them, think of their name, and then select whatever pile seems most resonant for you. You could also pick via numbers. It doesn't really matter, just whatever you energetically feel drawn to. Again, in terms of a situation where remember, this is meant for entertainment purposes only, so not everything is going to apply exactly to your situation, and I want to make sure you guys are being safe, because if this is a matter of you trying to determine if someone is up to no good or whatever, obviously use your discernment, and don't try to take these as, rigid explanations for what actually is going on. And also, too, learn to talk to people instead of just watching tarot readings about them first. That could clear up a lot of confusion. But I'll probably be telling that to you in your pile if that applies to you. Anyways, though, we have green, orange, red, black, and yellow as our colors to choose from. Please consider checking out my website if you're looking to book for a personal reading. And like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff to support my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. And if you're looking for professional mental health or other resources to support you on your healing journey, I have links in the description on my website. So feel free to check that in the description links below. Anyways, without further ado, I will see you at your pile. Take care. Hello everyone, you have chosen the green marker, and this is going to be your messages about what is actually going on between you and this other person. Already off the bat, coming from your energy, or what Spirit's trying to let me know, is they made a choice. Okay, so there's something about either you did this or the other person. I think both of y'all made choices that are very apparent, that caused either a conflict or something kind of feels unresolved here. Getting into the cards about what you think is going on, we have sometimes I hear your voice and thank you for leaving me. Wow. Oh, okay. So some of you guys, I think you're feeling like you're going a little crazy because you're channeling this person, or you keep hearing their voice or channeling something. I don't know, there's definitely just this energy of like, they will not get out of my head. Am I going crazy? Is this my OCD? Is this some kind of like a weird obsession thing? And the thank you for leaving me, I feel like you guys are in the mindset of, hey, you know what? If you're gonna ghost me, if you're gonna play mind games, if you're gonna do whatever, then stay over there. I feel like you lost hope on this connection, and I feel like between you and this other person, in your space, you feel like the feelings are mutual, that it's over, that they are in their headspace. Maybe they're in their feelings, but they're moving in a direction that's not in alignment with you. So you really don't care. If anything, I'm guessing that you're probably only picking this pile just to do a vibe check to see, hey, was I accurate? What does Christian have to say on that? Because it's probably going to be entertaining about this person. Which I appreciate the compliment, but make sure that you are using your eyes and ears when you're looking at this, and don't listen to what other people are saying. I do feel like you have told maybe too many people about this situation, so it's clouded your judgment. Or what I'm seeing with Archangel Michael, they're just saying be very discerning when you talk this way about this person, because there's something that you don't know of what's going on behind the scenes. Anyways, though, yeah, it seems pretty straightforward where you're at. You're done with the situation, and you're kind of feeling like you gotta take a stand against this person. I'm seeing you shaking your fist and being like, you know, good for nothing, whatever, how dare you do this to me. Because they may have done you or other people dirty, and you're tired of this shit. You know, you are sitting there saying, enough is enough. I'm not going back to this person. But I keep feeling there's another side to the story, so let's go ahead and pull some cards to see what is actually going on between the two of you. Oh my gosh, was this a romantic love interest? Oh my gosh. Listen, my cat is all up on me right now, basically saying, yeah, pay attention to me. Were you, like, sexually attracted to this person and that caused you to make an oops? Were you kind of, like, not very discerning with what was going on here in this connection? There's something about, like, you don't trust your own feelings or your intuition in this situation. You're kind of like, what the heck? Like, I was receiving all these signs and signals about this person, and then they turned out to be a colossal waste of my time. I was about to say douchebag, but then you're like, no, they're not entirely a douchebag. They just wasted my time. You know, for some of you guys, you're very much about, well, I want to get married. I'm only young for so long, so why do I have to go through all the process of learning lessons about people? Why do I have to wait and choose a partner that I potentially don't fall in love with? And then we get married, and then I find out halfway through, oh, he never loved me in the first place. Like, you guys definitely have a fairy tale mindset with some of these things, and I understand where it comes from. It comes from Disney, it comes from society, but, like, just a reminder, having babies and getting married for love is not... It's not a new concept, but it's very much not based in statistical reality. A majority of people did just settle, and that's okay, and there's no judgment here. I'm feeling with you guys, you're like, but my intuition says, and it's like, yes, and that's what we're gonna get into. Hey, Stinky, come in. I need to do my card reading. You know what, I'm keeping that in the video, guys. That feels like your person. Like, they're just taking their own damn time. You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of looking at you like you're the aggressor in this scenario, but they're not. I'm hearing from your spirit guide team, they're just really not worthy of where you're at in your current headspace. Like, there's something about, like, I just got bit. Oh, my cat just bit me. Ooh. Alright, I'm gonna get to the cards, see if someone was getting naughty with me. I do wish you well. You didn't imagine it. I don't know what to say. Yeah, so for some of you guys, your person, again, this could be a romantic partner, and if not, it could be a family member. They don't know how to say what they feel. They never have. So the fact that you're coming in, getting tarot readings and watching all this stuff online, trying to get a gauge for emotions and thoughts and feelings and stuff, when this person just eats, sleeps, drinks, and shits, and doesn't really think about much else, okay? You guys are much more sophisticated in your emotional needs, and I don't think you have the right idea about this person. If anything, it feels like it's a very wrong... You have wrong assumptions about them with a lack of substance. With the you didn't imagine it, you definitely have been receiving intuitive downloads about them. However, what I'm feeling is what you're not taking into account is the connection that you physically had. So I don't know if you guys either hooked up or even if you were just friends or passing by, like, you didn't fake that. Like, what happened between you two was real, you know? And I think you don't want to acknowledge how real it is because of the things that happened to you in the past, right? And I think you're trying to let go of somebody when you're not letting go of the right things. And there's something about, like, an object that, or an objective that you're trying to achieve rather than listening to your own heart space. You know, like, I'm almost hearing your spirit guide team be like, let your heart be free, jeez. You know what I mean? My eyes keep getting drawn to my Sonic the Hedgehog figurine, and it's almost like sitting there being like, geez, man. You know, it's like, you gotta cool down. Or, like, it's almost like you're not, like, taking life for what it's worth and just stopping and sniffing the roses. You know what I mean? You're gonna have your person, and you can have your cake and eat it too, but you can't do it when you're being obsessive. You know, I do wish you well. I do feel like no matter how you left it with this person does care about you, and they do wish you well. You know, maybe they weren't good at it. Maybe for a majority of you, this person, especially if it was a male person, they were not raised to embody the emotional depth that you have. I'm not saying they don't have it and they're trying to achieve it for you and for them, their own self-empowerment. They just don't have the tools. And with the I don't know what to say, like they're kind of sitting there being like, I was told by all these dating websites, or maybe not dating websites, like my father, my principal, my blah, 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 all these different people, I find the girl of my dreams and none of it's working. So I don't know what to do. And they're kind of like throwing their hands in the air because they're like, I said what I was told is what a girl thinks and wants. So, yeah, I just kind of see this as like a little bit of not naive, but kind of like dumb boy energy where he's like, whoa, 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 hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Like, since when did girls do this? Like, there's something about you that's different than the rest. I'm not gonna lie, and maybe you take advantage of that. And so they're kind of sitting there going like, you gotta like slow down and realize that I'm not where I'm at right now. And I'm not supposed to be with someone right now. That's another piece of it too, is like I'm feeling from like a higher realm. It's like, man, like I met the girl of my dreams, but I'm sitting here like, I don't have a house. I don't have the money to support this shit. And then you're sitting there going like, oh, he's a deadbeat. Or like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Or, oh, he doesn't have money. It's like there's definitely like something, a wound with money with this person where he feels like he's getting used all the time. And he wants to spend money on you, but he doesn't want to get used. You know? And so I feel like there's some kind of a misunderstanding between the two of you. One of you thinks the other's a gold digger, and then the other person doesn't have the means to financially support themselves due to economic reasons or things that are completely beyond their control. You know what I mean? Especially if someone's struggling with mental health issues or has medical debt. Like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? If someone lost their business and they have a bunch of debt, that no, they can only afford to take you out to the movies. God forbid, you know what I mean? It's not like you're always going to be in a financial peak, especially if this is like a leader or someone in a leadership position. Love me, dearest, love me true, let my heart always make its home in you. Ooh. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like you were special, or this connection was special. Maybe you guys had higher expectations and hopes of what was going to happen. However, I do feel like you are way more harsh and critical of this situation than the other person is. This person was caught off guard. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't think this person thought that you liked them. Again, I'm getting a little bit of dumb boy energy, and like I'm seeing like Sonic, again, the Sonic the Hedgehog personality going like, hold on a minute, you know, like I'm the fastest hedgehog around and you can't play me like that. it's you know what I mean? And your spirit guide team's kind of saying, just wait, slow down, you know, you're trying to push for something that's not ready for you yet. And with the green, I don't know if you're like jealous of this person or like you have this image of what their thoughts, emotions, and feelings are like. And again, I think you're trying to pin intuition on it when it's like, that's yourself. Those are your own words and your own thoughts and mind space. Which is a good thing you found this reading, because I was like, oh my gosh, like you could be ruining a potentially really great connection with somebody because you're sticking in your head too much, and your mind specifically is playing tricks on you. Your sweetness makes me smile. Yeah, like I definitely see this person like they stop and smell the roses because of you. I'm literally seeing like this guy kind of like smelling the roses and smiling and giggling to himself when no one's around, you know? Like, he's not gonna obviously show his feelings, because again, that's what he was taught. He was taught girls think you're weird if you do that, if they see you smelling roses. And I don't think this person fully cares, because they're not that, like, insecure. But for first impressions, they don't wanna get hurt because someone's making fun of them for being a little softer than normal. And I shouldn't even say that, because to me, it's like, well, that should be normal, but, you know, people's standards and societies are different. And you've got a lot to say about what masculinity and femininity should look like, so why should this person open up when they know you're going to be a harsh judge of that? I say a lot of things, but know this, I love you always. Man, did you let this person go? What did you do? Pile 1, oh my gosh, you're starting off making me upset a little bit. What did you want from me? Okay, yeah, I missed that card, but that was part of our pile here. I think something that did happen in the situation between the two of you, neither of you had equal expectations of each other. You blew something out of proportion. They didn't stand up against something that was going on. And then with the what did you want from me, I feel like this person didn't expect you wanted anything from them until you came out of the woodworks and blew something out of proportion. Or they thought you were interested in money or their status or something else. So then when you showed up as a real one, at first they were like, yeah, this sounds great. And then you started to pull away and they're like, okay, I don't think this person's interested in me. And then, like, I feel like they just chose to watch you from afar because they didn't quite understand what they were messing with. And then, like, now they're just, like, hopeful that you're going to come back, but they don't know what to say to get you to come back because they think you've already made your mind up. With what did you want from me? I think you definitely had strong opinions with what you thought this person wanted from you. And you didn't take into account that this person has no idea who the fuck you are. Like, there's like, again, you have a lot more depth, I think, than this person emotionally. And you were just spinning a lot. And you kind of created your own narrative instead of taking care. Like, you didn't ask them for answers for anything. So you made assumptions. And I think that really killed this connection. Please don't ever change. Aww. Dude, this person still likes you. They're still in love with you. Let them lie. They don't need our truth. Oh my gosh, maybe someone was lying on your name and was telling this person something, and they're like, okay, but they're just like keeping their ears and eyes out because this person I feel is very observant and watches and trusts behavior more than words and deeds. So when they're watching you, like, I don't know if you were inconsistent or you were showing up looking like somebody else and talking a different way, and they were like, okay. They were thinking that you being possessive with the, like, you're mine, you know, they thought you were just being some kind of like, okay, you're being a little creepy, you're being a little weird. But then over time, when you kind of prove that you actually were a real one, they're like, oh shit, but why did you do it that way? You know what I mean? It's like, oh god, I suddenly was thinking of Inuyasha and Kagome, where, it's an anime from a while back, early 2000s. And, like, Inuyasha's this stubborn, hard-headed guy who, he has a heart of gold, but he's very stubborn. And Kagome's very, very sweet and wise. And, like, I don't know, this just really gives me the vibe of, like, why didn't you say so? If you liked me, why didn't you ask me out? And it's like, well, because girls don't ask men out. And then it's like, but I do. Like, I don't know, there's some kind of a silly... This is just silliness. Why aren't you two together? Okay, whatever. Let them talk. It means they say your name more. Yeah, I feel like this person just hears blah, 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 blah. Like, going on between the two of you, I feel like sometimes when you're projecting stuff onto this person, they're just like, you don't even know me. I'm literally spiritually... Spirit is just being like, get up and talk to this person, or leave their energy where it's at until you sort yourself out, because there's a lot of talking and no actual movement in this connection. And I feel like this person's just tired of hearing other people talk shit about them, because this person thinks he's in the right. I'm assuming it's a he, but it could be a she, it could be a they, it doesn't matter. This person is definitely like, well, people are talking shit about me all the time. How do I know what to believe and who to believe? And I think this person does have really good discernment, but they're being protected from someone or something. And so right now they're a little lost on what to do with you because, again, it's almost like you shot your shot, but it backfired in some kind of way. And now they're just left stunned and kind of afraid that they lost you for good. You know what I mean? But they don't want to come after you because they don't know what they're running into. Like, they will. Like, this person wants to fight for you guys a little bit more because they're like, well, but what did you want from me? Why were you confessing these feelings and then you walked away and then you did this and now you hate me? Like, what is going on here? Let me touch the pain away. I want you. Oh, there is some sexual chemistry here. You know what I mean? But, like, this person has self-control. They're not going to come in making it all about that, but they're just kind of like, hey, if that happens, great, but I'm not going to use your body that way. I don't know, this person actually likes you, you know? Like, they're not just... I don't know, I think, like, maybe they feel a little used sexually, too, where I feel like this person, maybe they're attractive, or maybe they're used to girls assuming they always have this high-ass sex drive, and then when you came into the picture, I mean, they want to have sex with you all the time, but that's because they like you, so then you took it maybe in a way where you felt that they were trying to use you sexually or trying to abuse your connection only for sex or whatever. And then this person got caught off guard because they're like, what do you mean? I thought this is what girls want. I don't know. There's like some kind of like, I think you guys had two very different experiences with the opposite gender. So then you're pointing fingers and blaming each other when you're like, wait, What are we doing? We don't do that. We don't talk that way. Huh? Oh my god, you guys are so confused, but I want you to resolve this, okay? The way you smile lets me know every little thing will be okay. Yeah, I feel like you were a comfort for this person. Again, this person's world's gonna continue on spinning without you, but like, it's gonna suck, man. It's kind of like watching a movie and you see the protagonist losing the girl of their dreams. That you know that they're gonna get together at the end of the movie, but like, that doesn't always happen. And so they're at the stage where they don't know what's gonna happen because they thought they knew the ending of the movie, but the movie's not over yet, and it doesn't feel like it for either of you. You're just checking in, right? Wink, wink. I am not available. Yeah, so this person, regardless of what you said or thought or felt, they're not available to you. That doesn't mean they don't like you. Shit. Like, this guy's not gonna come in, especially like if he's on one leg right now, he's already feeling emasculated or he's already dealing with something else. Why would he want to show up for you when he can't be your hero? And you're like, but it doesn't matter. It's like, yes, it does. It is when you're judging him harshly. Yeah. He's like, he fucking took an arrow to the knee and then having his crush come up and yell at him and then running away. He's so confused. But he's not available for that kind of ego shit either, you know? He's just like, he's viewing you as somebody different than who he thought you were. You just don't know it. And I think he's more positive than you are right now. Just being near you is intoxicating. Y'all, do you guys like drink together or do drugs together? Or like, I just feel like there's something that between you guys' connection, you guys get very overwhelmed in a positive way, but it's not spiritually good for you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like right now, energetically, you guys are each other's cocaine, and you really gotta like stay away from that love energy because that will throw the whole thing off balance, and then you guys are gonna miss the important aspects of the connection. You know, it's kind of like if both of us didn't have an addiction to smoking that turned us into people we don't want to be, we would miss out on all the other things that made us great together. You know what I mean? So, if anything, it feels like you guys just need to take care of each other or yourselves. We need to let each other go. Wow, that's weird, because I was like, the way I was saying, I was like, we gotta take care of each other. You know what I mean? Like, that's just like so ingrained in this connection when it's like, I don't feel like you guys want to let each other go, though. Spirit's like, you need a timeout. You know what I mean? Like, you guys need to let go of the things that are not good for you, and this will come back into balance. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I feel like this person, he's like ready to fight, and he's ready to run after you, but you're not giving him the opportunity to do so. You know? And like, each other, it just feels like this person's like almost your opposite, or your exact opposite, but you're so similar in so many different ways, and that's where you're not paying attention to your own red flags that are blocking this with intoxicating. Maybe you're trying to numb out your truth or your personality or something going on with this other person because they want to come rushing in to save you or whatever, but then if you're numbing yourself out to this connection and not allowing things to happen the way they need to, you're gonna screw this up. Oh my gosh, I'm rubbing a warm kitty belly. Yeah. Maybe you both like kitties. Go rub a kitty belly for a little bit. Chill out. I know it was a distraction from your pain. Yeah, that's another reason why you gotta let this go, is because you're not facing how you're using a really great thing as a tool to separate yourself from a really bad thing that you aren't healing from. Like, this is a distraction from your pain, and you need to do the work to let go of that shit. Okay? It's okay if you're distracting yourself, but not when it's taken this long. Okay? And this person knows it, and this person wants you to feel better, but they don't want to be a crutch. You know, I feel like this person has been a crutch for too many people, and one too many years. You know, it's like, we're not getting any younger, so why are you continuing this stuff? You know, this person has a level of maturity and emotional maturity that hasn't come to fulfillment. Maybe this person does have some immaturity, but like, they still have enough social graces to see that you're hurting, and they don't want to come rushing in and say and apologize if you're not going to listen. I don't react when people mention you. Ooh, you cut this person off cold. You're like, yeah, like your friends ask about them, and you're like, that silence is so loud. Everybody's talking about it, or maybe not everybody, but everybody that knows you is like, oh, I'm done messed up. This might be the big one. And I feel like, again, you don't have a good gauge of what's actually happening here. So, like, your friends are all siding with you because they want to protect you, but you didn't know that this is the person you're looking for, you know? Like, there's some kind of a distrust here that you're not listening to. Again, at the end of the day, you are protected, so the universe is trying to guide this to clearer waters, but right now you gotta clear your energy, man. We got details 43. Yeah, there's a lot of small details that were unnoticed and unremarkable. But, like, I think neither of y'all were paying attention. This person's just not observant in general. And then you guys, Pile 1, overlooked some major details that were signals to you that it was okay to proceed, and you just sort of ignored them. Or you were shy, or you, like, whatever, sabotaged it. And then this person's kind of going like, hold up, I thought I did the right things. Let me look at the script. Where did I do this thing wrong? Where did I did this thing wrong? Maybe this person doesn't know how to, not very good with grammar. Again, this kind of feels like maybe you're, like I said, you're smarter than this person. But that doesn't mean that they don't have things to offer you. And you like them anyway, so what are you doing? I'm bringing up my inner Inuyasha. I'm like, what are you doing? Magical Shapeshifter in reverse, 52. And then, this is supposed to be up right. Oh yeah, 31, Dry Desert. I feel like you guys are out of ideas at this point. And your spirit guide team is basically saying, give it up. Give it up to us. Let us solve this. You know, like they're literally exasperated with both of you and are just like, just give it up to us. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna do the divine union timing thing. You can't screw what's meant for you, but at the same time, it's like, just stop focusing on the sex right now and just kind of put this connection away for a little bit. Take a break. With Magical Shapeshifter, I'm just seeing too many thoughts swirling in your head and not enough focusing on developing your social skills and your variety of friendships. I'm feeling like right now, group number 1, you need to definitely make sure that you're taking care of all areas of your life evenly and not just dumping all your energy and thinking space into this one person. Now, I know it is hard when you do have, maybe you have OCD or some kind of obsessive linear thing, so just try your best, but like you don't need to like sabotage or feel guilty because you can't break out of this looping cycle. Okay, because there is a journey going on here, and I do think this person is in your life for a reason. And again, my eyes are getting drawn to the you didn't imagine it. Just don't antagonize yourself or this other person over it. You'll get your shot. Just give it up for right now, okay? Anyways, thank you all so much for sitting and listening to this message. I know it was a bit longer. I appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below if this resonated with you. And I will see you all next time. Take care. Oh my goodness. Hello everyone. You have chosen group number 2 with the orange marker. And this is going to be your messages on what's actually going on between you two. Okay? Starting off the bat, I don't know if you guys used to smoke or if you are both connected in some kind of way in terms of addiction. I'm feeling like my speech is slowing and I'm feeling like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like there's something about y'all's connection that's, again, maybe you guys did substances together, or maybe there's something that was kind of unhealthy about your relationship. And I feel like you guys are trying to understand what happened. I don't know if you're feeling like this person took advantage of you, or you're just like, your head feels really woozy. Yeah, we've got wishing well. I feel like this person made you a lot of promises that were unfulfilled. Ooh, I saw my cat was laying on this. Yeah, what did you want from me? That could be another question that you guys are having, because you're sitting there going like, wow, it started off so great. Or like, I feel like it has something to do with spirit, where you felt like you were either meant for this person, you were guided to this person, but they were wearing a mask. And so you're trying to get a gauge of what the hell happened, Christian. Please tell me with your infinite wisdom, what did this person do to me? Some of you guys might even be afraid that this person did spell work because of the fact that you're having some memory loss or brain fog. I don't know if y'all have gotten diagnosed for PTSD or some kind of a memory issue, but I do feel like you lost somebody or someone, and that's causing some kind of a disturbance in your understanding of this connection. I'm already feeling like lack of boundaries too, so that was either this person or yourself. Let's go ahead and get some messages from Spirit about what's actually going on in this situation. Oh. I'm hearing the words like you too. I feel like you're not recognizing that this person treats everybody poorly. Maybe you were like the target, but you're for some reason believing that you're more special than the other people that this person did this shit to. You don't really know what this person's on about. With me looking at the Sonic the Hedgehog figurine over here, I'm just feeling like there was a decision you made to get in contact with the person that's going to cost you long term. And it wasn't the cost of like maybe financial, for some of you it might be, but it's really just the energy of like you need to let go of connections that no longer serve you. Okay, because like this person's been out of your life a while, and if you're still bringing their energy up or you're still trying to like get engagement with them, like I am feeling some desperation on your side that has nothing to do with the other person. You're just engaging with a ghost. With 27 home, I feel like you're trying to you're trying to create a home in a space you're not meant to be with this person. Okay, this person knows you have a bad home life. They know that you come from either poverty, maybe this person appears like they have money, so they were able to trick you into making you believe that they had more wealth and success than they actually did. I feel like this person tends to steal things from other people. Or maybe not necessarily like steal, but they steal ideas and then don't give credit to other people, or they kind of like puff out their chest and act like they're all high and mighty. Or like, I definitely see this energy of they really like to talk up about their family's accomplishments and act all hoity-toity, but then when like you actually go home or they're home or figure out more about their family history, you find out, oh, like their cousin's doing crack, or like they're covering up for their kids' dysfunction because they themselves like to deny what's happening. And so I think you just were a victim to this person. You just fell for it because you're nice and sweet and you were innocent and you believed that this person was who they said they were. Which no shame on that. You know, like I feel like you maybe came from a great household, or you came from a place where love was prioritized, and this person came definitely the opposite. They came from survival, lies, nothing's ever good enough. They don't allow people to actually be in their heart space, and even if they did, you'd show up and you're like, oh well, if we just like brush them off a little bit, it'll be okay. And this person does deserve love from the universe. However, right now with where they're at, like your love was never going to open them back up. Okay, this is the kind of person that's been through the trenches. And again, with like the whole weed thing, maybe you guys were just smoking pot together in high school or college, or just like this gives me the energy that like, yeah, you shared a moment, but this person wasn't sharing their vulnerability with you. You can sit there and talk about trauma all day long, and that does not mean they're opening up to you guys. And I think you guys misconstrued vulnerability for gaslighting, or just trying to like pump you with information so they can get in your pants, or to get something out of you. Maybe get information out of you. Maybe they thought you were somebody and they were thinking like this person's conniving, but they lose interest really fast. So like you kind of got protected there a little bit. With slow and steady, I feel like if you want to continue interacting with this person, just move really slow and steady, and you're going to see all these red flags. Because again, this person, like, there's a reason why there's an attraction between the two of you. Again, take what resonates, because this doesn't necessarily even apply to romance. It could be that this person was like a business partner or somebody that you were like, you feel lied to by them, but they really didn't lie. They were just showing you their truth and trust issues, right? So for example, I'm already thinking of a scenario where I had a conflict with somebody and we were speaking two different languages. And so I stepped back because I couldn't tell what was consistent. It's not that I didn't care about this person. It didn't mean that like there was stuff going on my part with my mental health. And with this person, I feel like they are kind of the opposite side of that spectrum, where they just don't tell anybody and they share whatever comes to mind. But that doesn't mean they've actually reflected on it. And that doesn't mean that you see everything that's going on. And I think that's where you believe it's manipulation, when really it's just how this person's body and mind's wired. They're just very like immediate, instant gratification, a little bit more faster paced than you. And they think you're slow not because you're stupid, but they kind of like that's what they usually equate with that one. Really, you're being slow and steady because you're kind, because you pay attention to things, you're attentive, and that's not a relationship that this person has with other people. Or they're just not used to it. Yeah, something about you gotta let go of the situation. We've got Golden Palace in reverse. Yeah, I feel like their Golden Palace that they sit in was stolen, right? Like, this is the kind of person that, like, again, they're not very good at coming up with unique things. They're very good at manipulating others into giving them something, which, because you didn't give them what they wanted, that's why they got bored so quickly. Which, I'm saying kudos to you. You guys were divinely protected, because with other people, they were taken advantage of a lot worse than you. However, because they see you have value, they see that you're loved by other people, you're not an easy target. Okay? And again, I think divine protection has a lot more to do with it than anything, because of the standpoint that you made choices and walked away from this situation, or you're still trying to make a decision about that and see, what should I protect? And immediately my eyes went to like the purse on this statue over here. And it's like, yeah, you gotta protect your money from this person. Protect your value. This person knows you're gonna have money and you would bail them out. And again, it's not because this person's necessarily a douchebag. They were just raised under survival mentality. That you don't be generous to people because everybody's an asshole just like me. So, and again, they don't view it as being an asshole and being taken advantage of, but to people that come from homes where love is more important and have more safety. Again, this person may have struggled with poverty and has a different mindset than you, because you didn't understand that that's what they were looking at. Again, they're kind of like, why are you projecting onto me? And it's like, well, depending on what your situation was, like you could even, like these people could have even had money, but they still have a poverty mindset. That's why it, like the mindset is more important than the actual wealth that either party has in this scenario. But money is an underlying frequency in this, because for you, you're like, it doesn't matter how much money a person has, versus to this person, it definitely does. And that's what I don't think you realize, is that to them, they're like, well, I am only hanging out with people that have status, that are emotionally supportive and willing to give to me. And it doesn't come from the same energy that you guys do. Because to you, you're like intrinsically motivated. You guys are like sparkly snowflakes, and this person's like, I don't want to say from the streets, but there's definitely more of like the street smart being like, well, I worked for my money and everybody's out to get me, which isn't the truth. But because those are the environments that person grew up in and was raised in, that's kind of how they turned out. And they haven't learned that not everybody's like that. And maybe that was kind of an eye-opening experience, but you haven't gotten to this person's deeper roots to actually see that. We have coming apart. I don't know if there was a separation between you two, but you guys were out of balance. I feel like you guys were like crying harder about the situation, versus this person doesn't really show emotions. I do feel like this person was shunned from their family. And again, if this is like a business partner or business relationship, I still feel like they get shunned in certain kind of ways. So for example, maybe you're trying to work on a project together, or you're trying to collaborate, or try to determine if this is like a good person. Meanwhile, they are putting on a mask for their social skills. They don't have the full confidence that they need to succeed. And so that's where, again, talking about like keeping up it's like I'm seeing like the golden statue that's actually made of plastic. It's definitely much smoke and mirrors more than you realize. And maybe you said some things that actually secretly hurt them, because you were coming from an authentic space and you were reflecting back to them of a time when they were acting that way as a kid, and then they learned the hard way. So you trigger this person a lot about their own insecurities and their depth, I guess. There's something about in their heart space where like they forgot what it was like to be innocent, because they had things taken away from them when they were very young. And that was just how they were taught to survive. And they know you're a good person. That's the other piece of it too, that's the kicker, is because like I don't feel like, again, that this person's inherently trying to sabotage you or whatever, but sometimes they may lash out that way. So you got to be kind of careful about this one, because this is a kind of a gray area where it's like you can still get hurt by someone who cares about you. You know, we have, I don't want to see you with anyone else. I know you need them, but it's not as much as I need you. Yeah, this person projects a lot of need on you, especially with money. So, for example, they're kind of the mindset of like, well, you're wealthier than me, so you owe me money. But like, they take it to an extreme. They take it from the place of guilt, you know what I mean? And shame, rather than, hey, let's be abundant together. Let's learn how to create things together. And the I need you energy, they're not recognizing that they don't need you. They're not picking themselves up off the ground or making the decisions that they need. And they kind of spiral because they're used to other people that operate from a toxic environment or from, as I said, a survival based environment, because toxic and survival don't necessarily equate to the same. But this person has seen some toxic shit. Okay, I'm just gonna be straight. So with the I need you, though, that's their inner child being like, I need someone to like prove to me that this is feasible, because I'm not allowed to feel that way. But if I'm in close proximity to someone with that innocence, then I'm gonna feel better, right? It's like they're trying to feel things through you and you're trying to do the same thing with them. Or there's maybe aspects of yourself that you weren't aware of your survival instincts, or you weren't allowed to have survival instincts on the opposite end. So maybe, for example, you were always expected to be like the golden child, put in the corner, make sure you look good, don't step out of place because it's dangerous out there. But then when people didn't come in to support you, you revert back into an innocent child because you weren't taught how to take care of things. And this person's seeing you like, what the fuck are they doing? But it's almost like you're on the opposite side of the spectrum. And so normally they'd view you as weak or they do whatever, but with you, they've got a soft spot. And so I feel like you kind of embody a version of them that they respect and want to receive. So that's why it's kind of like two-pronged. You make me strong enough to feel weak. I'll cry for you. Yeah, I don't know what kind of a hold you have over this person, but this person sees you as an adversary and an ally at the same time. It's so confusing. Again, if you've worked with this person, you may have seen some inconsistent patterns with them where sometimes they're harsh on you, other times they're really supportive. There's just like a hot and cold triggering that's going on between the two of you. But I think like in secret, they really do wish the best for you. I just would not project that in a way that's saying they aren't going to hurt you. You know what I mean? Just because that's someone feeling on a heart level does not mean that they're not going to take action against you, which this person definitely would. They definitely take a stand on you and they'd turn on you if more money was available elsewhere. You blow my mind. Can you blow something else too? Yeah. I don't know if you rejected something, a sexual advancement or whatever, but I do feel like there's something about you that like there's more than just a physical body connection. For those of you that are thinking about like a family member or a business, it's kind of like they're trying to like direct you subconsciously to the thing that they want to get out of you. So it's kind of like when you're sitting here talking about stuff, they're like, yeah, I put up with talking about the things you like to talk about. And then they weed it back to themselves every single time. And they're doing that intentionally because that's what they do. They manipulate. I don't even think this person's fully conscious of them doing that because they can't sit with other people's stuff because their shit is lots of drama and trauma. The drama. You remind me that life is worth fighting for. Yeah, you do inspire this person though. And this person, I think, is a fighter. That is something admirable about them. And that's where you two clash, I think, is because you won't admit you're a fighter versus this person won't admit that they're shy, soft, and quiet. It's like you're exposing each other to each other, and that's so funny. Leave me behind, I'll always follow you. You're like destiny. Yeah, don't count on that from this person. I think you were feeling that way towards this person, or like, again, if it was like family or a business, you guys were like really thinking that they were going to be either a chosen family or a successful investment, and things did not go according to plan. And you're starting to question your connection. And you have always been in this energy of, I'll always follow you. Because you believe that when someone shows you their heart, they're showing you the same thing back. That's not what's happening here. Again, it's manipulation without the intention to harm, but it still does. And it's like, you're like destiny. Again, you gotta detach from this idea of externalizing pieces of yourself into other people, because that's gonna get you hurt one day. Please heal for me. I want us to be together and healthy. That is also feeling like your energy, where you're wanting this person to heal when this person doesn't want to acknowledge that they don't want to heal. So maybe, again, there's something similar between the two of you, but you're not acknowledging it. Or, again, you're trying to force something that this person isn't ready for. And vice versa. This person isn't ready to fight for you or to go soft for you. And I think that's just something you need to acknowledge, that if this person wanted to show more signs and action towards you, they would. And they don't. I hope that you can forgive me one day. I do think there's some hopefulness about this connection. But, like, I think if you're looking for an apology from this person, you're not going to get it. And the forgive me one day, I think, like, that's your spirit guide saying, hey, you need to forgive yourself a little bit for allowing this person, this connection to kind of go on as long as it did. And to, like, kind of step away from the one day fantasy. You know, because I think that's more conditional love than you realize. And that's disempowering to you and this other person. Because this other person, when you, say for example, if you start acting like this person to them, or start acting that way back, they're going to let you go immediately. Because they don't like looking at themselves. Right? And with the one day, I think this person hopes one day too that they can be just like you again. That's so cute and sad. The timing just wasn't right for us. Yeah, so maybe after some time in healing, like both of you guys do the work, you could potentially have a relationship with this person. You could come back. I do think this person, I think over time, if they work on their things, like, yeah, they could still be around for you, but you have to make the determination of how long you're going to wait for this person, because this person isn't coming towards you anytime soon. It was my fault that I blamed you. Yeah, I think you guys are not accepting your own blame, that it is your fault for sticking around in this connection. Not from the standpoint that you did something wrong or bad, but from the standpoint that it's your responsibility to take care of yourself. And while I understand that, yes, this person may have harmed you, this is also a scenario of, like, blame doesn't protect you. You know what I mean? There's always going to be people in this mindset, and this is just kind of a fact of life that you're going to go through this time and time again until you recognize that not everybody is blessed with the same things that you do, and some people have to be this way to survive. And I know you don't want to hear that, but that's kind of how a piece of the world works, and you can't change or control that, no matter how good you are. No matter how much therapy you offer a person, like, they're not you, okay? And that's what makes you special. But just being able to admit that you are blaming this person for the ways that you were hurt instead of protecting yourself, I think that's really important. All right. Anyways, y'all, that was your message. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below if you enjoyed your message. Yeah, and check out my website for booking personal messages if you're interested. Sorry, my cat's also chewing on me. Take that as a message. Just understand that sometimes when kitties bite, it hurts a little bit, but they are just being cats after all. Anyways, cool cats, I will see you all next time. Take care. Hello everyone, you have chosen group number 3, and this is going to be your messages on what is actually going on between the two of you. We're going to start off with a vibe check between you and this other person, and yeah, we're going to see what's actually going on behind the scenes. Oh, you blocked this person. It's funny because, so normally when I record my videos, it's one big long recording and then I go on YouTube and edit them. And my cat jumped on the computer and stopped the whole recording. And then I had to go kick him out. So I definitely feel like this was you. Or someone in this connection. There's definitely an angry undertone. I love the color red. Red is my favorite color. However, the undertones going on here is something was not pleasant between you and this other person. I scared myself that day. I don't need your approval. I don't really know you. I'm happy that it's over. Oh, God. Were you on the receiving end of this? Group number 3? Because I kind of feel like you were lacking some empathy towards this other person. I'm definitely getting the energy of, I can't tell who this is. If it's you thinking this person is sending this your way, or if you're reacting that way. Like, I definitely feel like there's like a mirror. This person's like mirroring your energy back to you with like the I don't need your approval. I don't think this person understands what you even said to them. I don't really know you. Yeah, I don't think you know this person that well. And I think you don't know that you don't know this person. I don't know if you projected something onto this scenario, but I'm just feeling all of this energy that's like being reflected back, and you're just like, what the heck? Since when did I say that? You know, like, I definitely feel like you're confused about why this person blocked you so angrily, or I scared myself that day. I don't know if you were like mad or angry and you didn't like a version of you that came out when you said and did those things. And I kind of feel like you're sitting there being like, what happened? Was I drinking when this happened? No. Like, there's like just this energy of like something happened where you weren't yourself, or you don't really feel like it was yourself, or you're just like, yeah, it's like being caught in a daydream, but you're like, yeah, no, I was standing up for myself, but I'm hearing like a no. I'm happy it's over. I definitely feel like somebody in this connection is like, oh, I'm so glad it's over. And then looking back on it, you're like, is that what I said? Is that what I did? Yeah, this is so weird. This is like such a strange headspace. Do you guys struggle with like, I don't want to say accountability, because I do think like you can be accountable for small things, but this kind of feels like the energy of maybe you made a big mistake and you didn't know what was going on, and so you immediately emotionally reacted towards this person without considering what was going on between you two, and now you're sitting there trying to put the pieces together, and like your first reaction was immediately, oh my gosh, my cat's like attacking my door. Yeah, your immediate reaction was like, I'm gonna close the door off while people are yelling at me outside of my door, and I'm gonna let the haters hate. And I see you like just kind of like tossing your hair and being like, yeah, bye bitch. But then as you're like talking to yourself or talking between yourself about this thing, you're slowly starting to realize maybe this wasn't what it seemed. You don't know whose fault it is. Like, you're kind of questioning things now with like the I don't really know you. If anything, that feels like you towards yourself, where I'm like looking at myself being like, I don't really know this version of me. You know? Like, maybe there was like a version of you that was like stuck behind like a wall, or like very stone face. But again, I feel like somebody like deleted a conversation, they deleted social media. There's like a big ass stink that was made. Okay. All right, so let's get messages from Spirit about what's actually going on. Aw. I think there's hope for you between you and this other person. But you need to like let go of this tactic. This feels like a survival tactic that you're used to, shutting other people off without acknowledging what's going on between you and the other person. Like, you don't know how to handle when someone's upset with you. That is very, very clear. And you don't always know when you're pushing people's buttons and boundaries. I don't know if you guys have autism or there's some kind of I'm feeling a disability here, or something that really genuinely is out of your control that causes you to not connect the dots. Okay? That's why I'm like, I think that's why Spirit's having a bit of sympathy for you. Only a bit. Only from the standpoint that I don't think anyone's ever told you that's what's going on when you're reacting this way. Because it's like, you're not supposed to feel emotionally neglected and abandoned, or this like abandoned feeling. Yeah, maybe you guys had some messy parenting. That's what I'm kind of feeling, where it's like someone gave you very inconsistent mixed messages, and so you really weren't actually taught healthy co-regulation with other people. Again, like with the conflict, like I don't know if you were used to getting screamed at into submission, so you learned to ignore people screaming at you, or maybe you had like the type of people that were manipulative, where they were used to screaming and crying and freaking out, that you were like, okay, that's just what people do. So then when you went out into the world and you met other people, and when they do that, you think that's normal, and you're just like, quit crying, because you think it's common for people to do that, when it's not. Hey. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's kind of like, I feel like maybe you grew up in a home environment where things were disrupted a lot. Or like, for example, with deleting, I almost feel like maybe, I don't know if you had like a parent that would like intentionally like destroy things before they got off the ground, or like you had to like hide certain emotions or feelings. Yeah, I definitely feel like you guys, your inner compass, like you get very scared and emotional without knowing. I think because you get checked out so much. Oh my gosh. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Oh my gosh. Here, come on. Come on, kitty. Come on. Go, go, go. Sorry about that. Almost got it deleted again. Yeah, I just feel like there's just a lot of this interference where you're just like, you're trying to like, maybe when you were younger, you were trying to express your heart, and then things just kept getting in the way, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, will you stop? Like, there's just like a lot of conflict here that disrupted your brain. Sorry. Yeah, that's why it's like, I can't even think about this other person because I'm dealing with this internal turmoil. I hope that the ones who harmed you lose every chance at loving again. Yeah, y'all are very revenge focused. I feel like you and this other person, because you didn't know what was causing this person to become upset, I feel like this person, they feel like they gave you every chance at being able to love you. And they are feeling like you self-sabotage this. With the like, you lose every chance at loving again, this feels like very harsh, judgmental energy without understanding that you have no boundaries or don't. Yeah, you're just trying to survive in this chaotic little mind space you're at, that you didn't understand what was going on. Maybe you guys were like, again, you're used to getting in trouble at school or at work, and then no one ever properly explains to you what happened. Or like, again, by proper, maybe they did for other people's terms, but because of the specific trauma and situations you went through growing up, your response and reaction, you're desensitized towards certain types of authority because it was abused against you. Wow. I'm sorry, I just like blocked my door, and my cat is moving the rock or the object I had to block the door so she can get in. Yeah, maybe you guys didn't have privacy. Maybe it was like, oh god, I'm thinking of my upbringing with like open door policy where you were never allowed to close your bedroom door because otherwise you were keeping secrets. You know what I mean? It's just like really like weird control problems that you probably had. You are not just a sexual partner, you are special to me always. Yeah, I don't know what went on between you and this person, but this person wanted to feel special with you, and I feel like they lost their temper with you because they thought they were going to be receiving something that you weren't capable of giving. Me, always, I feel like this person, either you got hurt by a narcissist where everything was always about them, and so this person never took into account that you were hurting or you were self-harming. I do feel like you guys were definitely emotionally neglected, not just by your parents and your family, but like by society. Because again, no one sits and takes the time to help the autistic kid understand what's happening, or the whatever. And so with you guys, like, you got so many mixed signals growing up. It was like, okay, you're smart, you're funny, you're attractive, you're blah, 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 you were special. But if I was special, why am I getting treated like shit? Or why am I always in trouble? Or why, like, you're not just a sexual partner? I feel like you guys, you don't even know what that means. because you guys are so in disorder. Yeah. Your love sends me to the moon and back. Yeah, I feel like between you and this other person, like, you always felt ecstatic about this connection. You guys sat there and was like, wow! And like, you felt something, but like, because your internal landscape is very distorted, you're just feeling an emotion. You're not processing it fully. With like always, I feel like with this person, you always feel this to the moon and back energy. But like, there's something about like when you look at when people smile, you always believe it's a manipulation, or there's something about like the smiling where you think they're like secretly going he 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 he, behind your back, and you're just like, please shut up. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like you feel betrayed by this person because you don't want to be friends with them. Like, you're kind of like, why? Yeah, I think like to you guys, maybe friendship with the opposite gender or with someone you're sexually attracted to doesn't exist. So you're like, I can't develop a friendship with this person. It must be either sexual or friendship, and neither in between. You guys don't have range because it causes all this disorder. Yeah. Love will never be a word worthy enough to describe how I feel for you. Yeah, you guys don't have words. And this person, oh wow, this is so strange because it feels like the other person was carrying the weight of the emotions. So like, maybe you were externalizing, like, that person's the feeler, I'm the strategy person. Or like, that person has better social skills than me, so I'm in the background. Like, you guys were ignored or pushed off to the side a lot, so you didn't get the skills and the development to realize that you're a person, you're a human being, and like, you're a part of the conversation too. Maybe you were always told to sit down, or you were always told to, like, that's just the problem kid, so you just push them away, and you don't really know what it's like to be like, oh, I feel equal with my peers. Like, there was definitely some social things, and so then now as an adult, when you do antisocial behavior, you were taught that's okay, versus other people see that as, ooh, go away. You know what I mean? Why are you doing that? And then that just reinforces the pattern of behavior. Say the words I love you and I'll come running. Yeah, I feel like you don't know when to tell someone that you love them. If it's genuine and authentic. I don't know if you've accidentally manipulated people by mistake because you didn't realize that that's not what love is supposed to feel like. And with the I'll come running, I feel like with this other person, you're like, if I could just show them how I feel, maybe that would be easier than talking to them. And like, if this person said I love you, you'd be around, but you're kind of like, what's the point? Because I wasn't treated well when you got mad at me. You know what I mean? And I think like, you're holding on to this person's negative reaction to something that you did because you're running away from that energy, right? The I love you, you're kind of like, well, love isn't real. You know what I mean? And so like, I think, oh, this is so sad. Like, I know where this energy's coming from, and you haven't connected to the I love you inside of you because there's some stuff you got to heal here. Yeah, you should be telling yourself that you love yourself to compensate, because right now this pile needs some therapy work for sure. You don't need to be anybody else. I don't want them. I want you. Yeah, you just want someone to come in and say, it's not my fault for once. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, maybe you feel like people have been so underhanded. It's like you either get these victim-y people that don't understand what's going on, and so they try to sympathize with you, but they sympathize the wrong things. Like, you want someone to want you for you as you are right now. Being like, I can't handle much more on my plate. Like, I feel like you just go into robot mode because you're just like, okay, I just get very robotic. And with this other person, you came alive with them, but you weren't able to process it fully. And I just feel like you're very much like, I want you, but there's not anything else to go with that. And so because this other person has more emotional detachment from you, you are like, That's like the only version this piece of your brain understands, is like, I just want this person. You're not thinking about like, is this an attachment wound? Why do I want this person? This feels very possessive, but it's like, it's kind of like I see like a kid with a toy that isn't capable of saying, well, why do you like this toy? And it should be like, well, I like it because I like the colors. I like to play with it. I like to hold it because it makes me feel safe. Like there's something about this person's energy that makes you feel comfortable. And you don't have the internal awareness to understand that you don't want that person. You want the energy that it provides to you. If this person provided something to you, and so you backed off when this person was no longer behaving like an object, right? And this is very common in people that have been abused, neglected, is people are objects, not people. And so then you can't connect to them properly. You will always be God's perfection in my eyes. Yeah, you guys, maybe you're raised by perfectionistic people, but in this scenario, there's definitely like this dynamic between you and this other person where perfection is a huge deal. And there's so much self-criticalness where it's like maybe this person came across as like, oh, they're like an angel, they're shiny and golden or whatever, and you tried to keep up, and you're like, well, that person is perfect and I'm flawed, and I don't know what to do with that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's something about this like person that triggers your not good enough wound, this perfectionism, where you're just like, I've tried for years to be understood by people, and no one understands me. There's no such thing as perfection, but when I look at this person, that's all I feel, and then I just realize how I'm a piece of shit. In my eyes. I don't even think this person feels that way about you. But there's something about your connection with this person that triggers you and causes you to look at yourself and say, in my eyes, I don't treat myself very well. And it's so deeply hard to acknowledge that. Because this isn't just like, I don't take care of my appearance, I don't take care of my emotions. This is literally like self-harm to a degree of not even self-actualizing. Again, because you were in an abusive environment and nobody stopped and told you otherwise. God's got a plan for us, I can feel it. I don't know if you guys are spiritual. With the God's got a plan, I don't know if that's something that you're just holding on to because either you hear other people talk about it. I do feel like religion either burned you or you just chose to be like, it's kind of all bullshit anyway. With the God's got a plan, though, I do feel like you're fascinated by the concept, but I do think a part of you also says, like, yeah, there's got to be some bigger picture rule going on here. Like, I can't be experiencing these things for no reason because of this person. There's something about your body, too. Like, you're feeling things now. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys were maybe, like, either an atheist or somebody that really doesn't, like, you see a lot of spiritual stuff as bullshit. Right? And so then maybe when you started doing yoga, you actually started connecting to your body more, which for the sciencey type people, which you guys might be more interested in, there's things called somatic exercises, which are used to heal in trauma therapy. Yoga and other like mind, body, spirit things, practices, they overlap a lot, you know, and if you're interested in learning somatic exercises to get in touch with your body and feeling emotions again, there's a link on my blog for a article I wrote on that stuff. So please check that out. It will help you out. It'll get that mind-body spirit connection going. It's hard to say I'm sorry when I'm so in love with you. You didn't deserve this shadow. Oh. Yeah, you guys don't know how to say I'm sorry. Like, you say it with your chest. You don't say it with, like, conviction. Yeah, again, it just kind of feels like you guys were neglected, so, like, why should I apologize when it's... Oh, I see what happened. Okay, so you guys, like I said, with that whole being raised in childhood, where everybody always told you you were bad, they just wanted to hear you apologize, and then they'd go back to their shitty treatment of you, or the problem wasn't resolved, so you just learned to be like, all right, I'm just gonna say I'm sorry. Then you got pissed off as an adult, where you were like, nobody's actually sorry. You're just expecting words out of my voice, so I'm not going to say I'm sorry. Which, if I'm going to be honest, I'm going to validate that feeling. I think that's kind of justified to a certain degree. However, if you do make mistakes and are hurting people, if you want to connect with other people, you have to actually apologize. You know, it's not like you're just going through something It's just that your relationship with what regret feels like is so different. Because maybe your way of saying I'm sorry is saying I love you. You know what I mean? That was very specific. Sorry, you guys are getting a longer message because I can tell you guys need the healing, and I hope this is helping you guys, but I just get so pissed when people treat their kids this way and then wonder why they become adults who treat other people like shit. It's like, well, because you guys didn't accept this person who they were. Now the rest of us got to go deal with this stuff. And I'm sorry, this isn't like criticism. It's meant to be like, how could you treat a person this way? You know what I mean? How could you be that lacking in empathy and arrogant to believe that this person's supposed to figure this shit out on their own? When, to me, it's very clear what you guys are dealing with. But whatever. We're all different. If you can tell, I'm salty because I just meet so many people like this, and it's like a no-brainer why you guys are struggling, but then no one takes the time to explain this to you? Nobody? Not a single one? Okay. And then everyone's like, oh, here's my favorite part. When people say, oh, like, they're supposed to figure it out on their own, or like, you're just gonna leave them to their own devices. I'm like, yeah, that's a terrible fucking plan. Especially when this person's been abused their whole life. Like, what do you think? They're gonna turn out normal? Someone else is gonna raise these babies? Well, they don't. And then they become society's little terror gremlins when they don't want to, and they're not even gremlins to begin with. But everyone's reacting that way because they don't know what they're looking at. I'm sorry for calling you guys gremlins. It's just like being on the other end of literally being like, I'm watching you guys get hurt systematically when it's not your fault to a certain extent. Like, obviously you were in control of your actions, but like, at what point are we going to say, this person was hurt? Can we address that first? I'm sorry, go off. We may be separated, but I can never stop thinking of you. Yeah, one or both of you keep discussing the situation with other people because you're trying to fix it and resolve it, but it's spinning and going nowhere. Again, I don't even know if you notice this person noticing you. With the we may be separated, maybe you cut someone off before that they could hurt you, but you're thinking of them. And I think that should count for something. You know what I mean? Just because you separated yourself, like, again, I'm seeing like closing the door because my cat's going ape shit, and like, now my cat hasn't been bothering, but now you're sitting there going like, I kind of want them to come back. I want them to be scratching at my door because that's what I'm used to. Not because that's healthy for me, but because that signals to me that someone's coming back when they're fighting with me. Yeah, there's this like robotic energy with you guys. I feel so bad. I want to give you guys a hug. With love comes acceptance. I was always accept you as you are. Yeah, I feel like this other person wants to accept you, but they have, I don't know, they have their own tragedy that they got to deal with. You as you are. I think that's just going to be the big overarching lesson about what's actually going on here is like both of you guys need to accept who you are and where you're at and who you're with right now. Because there's some kind of a jealousy going on between you and this other person. I don't know if one person was sleeping with somebody else or not sleeping with somebody else and someone was getting mad about it. There's like acceptance of where the other person's at right now that just needs to happen to move forward. Because I feel like you're conflicted for different reasons than this other person is. And you haven't gone through that grieving process of realizing what you're actually experiencing. Because I feel like you don't experience your thoughts, feelings, and emotions authentically, again, because of all this distortion and chaos. Again, therapy. Oh, how fearless you make me. I'm a changed man. Yeah, I feel like your actions cause someone to determine that you're different, and they changed. They changed as a person because of the consequences of your behavior. Okay, and this is where the accountability comes in to play. Is like, well, if you hurt somebody, you can't expect them to stick around. You can't expect decisions to be made with you in mind when you've hurt somebody. I think there's like because of the ways that you were hurt and the distracting energy of what's going on, you're not paying attention to what people grow and change around you. Because you're stuck. Okay? Something with man. Maybe, I don't know if you guys are a masculine energy, but this person does not like certain masculine frequencies. Maybe there's misogyny going on here. I don't know, but I feel like you guys definitely always feel attacked because you're a guy. If you're a feminine, you may always feel attacked by men. or challenged by them. Or if you're somewhere on the in-between, I don't know, there's like a scary element to men where you can't tell where the abuse is going to come from, if someone's my protector, my savior. In any case, I feel like the scenario changed between you two with this cutoff. And you don't know whether you should argue or cry about the situation because you are left kind of stunned. Release beautiful. Yeah, your spirit guide team's saying just kind of release this moment for right now. And talk to spirit about it, you know? Like sit and pray about it. And when I say prayer, it's you don't have to fold your hands, but literally just talk to the universe for a little bit. Just express your feelings to somebody or something. Because something's always listening to you. Sorry, I mean, like, again, you don't have to believe in spirituality, or in Jesus or God to do this exercise, because it'll help you regardless. Because visualization's a powerful thing, guys. I don't know, I do have a romance card over here that I'm being called that. I have to bring this out at some point, because there's some kind of a message here, but remind me later. I want to feel that way again. I'm afraid to contact you. This is both of you. Alright, whoever... I feel like you're more afraid to contact this person, but this person's afraid you're going to contact them. Because they don't know what energy you're going to come at. Maybe, again, you have a reputation for being angry or coming across in a certain kind of way, so they're afraid that if you come after them right now, you're going to be an antagonist. And so with that, I want to feel that way again. I feel like that's more like you wanting to connect to the better things going on between them. Mostly because you want to understand what happened. But you're still going to continue to make your own choices. And I think that's where the issue is underlying, is with the I'm afraid to contact you. You're like, well, if I just talk about it, maybe they'll fix it, because you're used to toxic dynamics, which I'm just going to be straight, it's toxic if you're in a dynamic and energy where you're used to fighting and screwing each other, and then you go back to normal. Like, most people don't like that. It's disruptive, it's chaotic, and it's not good for your nervous system. But you're so used to that you just don't understand when they don't come back. You're like, oh, they were serious about that. What? Yeah, you guys are around some very hurt people. There's some really hurt dynamics. Again, I apologize for calling you toxic, but like, this is what people are talking about. You know? And I'm sorry that you went through that. I don't know. I want to give you guys the biggest hug, and I feel like maybe you get headaches a lot running this stuff over and over your head. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of like rumination too, where it's like it kind of like hypes you up to fight somebody, but then when you hurt someone you actually care about, you're like, I don't know what to do. You feel powerless. I replay our conversations over and over. Oh wow, look at that. I wasn't paying attention. I left when I saw you with someone. What did I just say? You came closer than anyone. Yeah, you and this person were close. And I don't think you realize that what this person meant to you. Because you wouldn't be pausing your conversation with someone to respond to a message from them. I don't think you actually acknowledge or know when you actually care about somebody. And that's fucking sad. Oh my god. I'm like, I just want to thank you guys for showing up to this YouTube channel. Because I think you guys really deserve the best, you know, love and healing out there, because I really don't think you realize what people did to you. And that if you do choose to walk a different pathway, it's going to hurt a lot. Because you're going to be aware of this. But it's going to send you places that you've never been before. And you're not going to know where you're going half the time, which I think that excites you and also hurts you. But I think you can overcome it, because you guys seems like tough people. And I love the fact that you are trying to change, or at least trying to understand. That already is phenomenal, and I give you credit, because this stuff, like, when they talk about healing things, they don't talk about this stuff, you guys. And I think the fact that you found me and I can talk to you guys so freely makes me feel very glad that I'm doing what I'm doing, because I am rooting for you guys so much, because this work is so hard, And you guys are all stars. You're rock stars. You're amazing for putting up with the things that you did and the fact that you are acknowledging what you did was wrong. We will be together again. Yeah, I think you've got a lot of hope for this. This other person, I'm hearing they're like, it's dead. You know, this other person's like, this person isn't who I used to be. This is who I want to be. I don't want to acknowledge this person ever again. Yeah, there's something you're not getting about this connection, that this person was legitimately like cussing you out and closing you out. Because again, to you, with your upbringing, that type of pattern of fighting, it's not serious. You know? There's just something you don't want to acknowledge. I know that I crossed the line with you. Yeah. I think you just don't know what line was crossed. But there's still, like, other people have lines and you don't. And I think that's the first thing you should talk to a therapist about. Is figuring out how do we recorrect back to normal. So when we talk about trauma therapy, when it comes to like a rubber band, right? When you stretch out a rubber band to past the point where it no longer gets back to its original form, that's what trauma does to your brain. And so it's really hard when you've seen messed up things or been in messed up environments to be reintegrated back into a less chaotic, traumatic environment. Because of the fact that you have been worn down in a way that anything goes. And so you always are anticipating the crazy batshit thing to happen versus other people. That's not even on their radar. You're like in two different worlds. So when you come closer, everybody gets repelled by your red flags, right? But you're not even aware of what they are. And so you're sending these signals out and it's chasing people away, and people don't take the time to help you because they don't want to get hurt. And that's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to heal. I lived my life through you. Some of you guys are living your lives through other people. And maybe you were doing that with this person. That's what chased them away. Because that other person was like, why are you not acknowledging these things within yourself? Why are you talking to me about it? I do feel like there's a little bit of a dismissive, avoidant attachment energy here, where someone's just like dismissing you and not addressing the problems that's happening. I feel like they shut you down and shut you away because they didn't want to deal with it because they were overcome by the situation. Because again, maybe your coping skills and whatever you do to cope with this trauma in the past, they didn't know how to handle that, and so they rejected you because they're trying to protect themselves. And for some people, they should have listened to you. Other people, you should have listened to them. And so, I mean, I've got other readings that if you want to work through that stuff, you can check those out, because this is already taking a little bit longer. But the I lived my life through you, that happened to you, hands down. Because there's definitely, with whatever ways you guys were abused or taken advantage of, which is a form of abuse, someone else got to live while you had to go to sleep. And you had to be pushed away. And you owe yourself the ability and capability and capacity to live life through yourself. Okay, whatever that looks like. And this person maybe just showed you a glimpse of that. And it's okay to acknowledge that you were hurt by this person's actions. Okay? Because there's a certain point where with victim blaming where this trauma stuff can get so messy. And then when you get into politics and all these other things going on, it turns into a mess. And you're always like, you gotta be careful about this, you gotta be careful about that. And it's just like, just live your damn life, guys. You're gonna make mistakes. And you're gonna meet the people that's gonna show you the way. That's the whole purpose of the spirituality thing. It's not about the gold, it's not about the money, it's not about all this other stuff. This is about living life. That's what spirituality is always, what it's meant for, is helping you live life better and cleaner and healthier. And learn lessons and experience things. To find joy and sadness and both and grief. All of it. Because it's life. That's what spirituality is about. That's what spirit is. I should have said what I didn't say. Yeah, I think you gotta acknowledge that you gotta let go of thinking words are gonna fix this instead of patterns of changed behavior and choices. However, I will say, though, that there are some things from your heart space that you should get off your chest with this person when the time is available to you. I do feel like this person is divinely protected against you right now, simply because they don't want to hear it. And you may never get that goodbye. Okay? You may never get the chance. And it's your responsibility and job to just not talk if you don't get the invitation back. Okay? And I think that's where the boundaries thing comes in, where it's very, very clear, where I'm going to just say this right now. If someone has blocked you and cut you off and told you no, don't go back to this person. Don't talk to this person. Nothing you say will fix it. Okay? That will make it worse for you, and it will come back to hurt you if you try to do that. If you didn't say something to this person, but you need that released, talk to a therapist, write a book, write a movie, write a song, make art. Do that instead. Go start doing martial arts. Go out there, exercise. Reclaim your power and make it about you. If you've got a confession to make, confess it to the world. But don't contact this person if she's blocked you. Please, please, please don't do that. Okay? It will backfire on you. Especially because when you're in this energy, you're not in the headspace or in the right mentality for a conversation like this that needs to occur. I projected my unhappiness onto you. Yeah, some of you guys, maybe you beat up somebody that you weren't supposed to. Maybe, and again, it could be metaphorically, but there's something about this person that maybe you idolized and threw all of your negativity towards them, all of your rejection from all these other people, all of this stuff, and you just dumped it on this person. And this person's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? No. You need a healer. You need a person that's going to support you. You need a family. And you're like, well, I don't have that. So where's it supposed to go? Okay? And this is where trauma creates division between you and other people. So focus on what's making you unhappy right now. Focus on the areas of where you can heal. Where are you not satisfied within yourself, between yourself? What can you acknowledge and that you can change? Start with that. Like, again, if it's something as easy as like, let's start working out again, or let's start saving money again. You know, finances could have been an issue here, but like, maybe this person doesn't want to do business with you anymore, and they're justified because you weren't doing the right thing. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's heal about it. Yeah, I'm gonna try wrapping this up. We've got, I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe. Yeah, some of you guys are very impatient, and I get it, but you're used to fast moving because of abuse, okay, and addiction cycles. So with multiplying each day as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe, we're basically saying have faith and trust that you're going to heal. That right now, so like if you're ever in the process of rewiring your brain, which is what you guys are doing, as you continue to make changes, it's going to suck a little bit because you're going to be emotionally overwhelmed at times. That's where meditation's going to help. Spending some time being in the quiet. I know you don't like being alone, because sometimes it's scary for you. Maybe you get scary thoughts, maybe whatever. Again, work with a therapist. There are hotlines, but taking some time, even if you're just like sitting in a parking lot just by yourself quietly, just do some quick breathing and then just let it go and then go back and sit and be in a crowd of people. Okay? Like, there's ways around doing this. I can write an article about that too, in case you are feeling unsafe and you don't want to be completely alone. There are ways to navigate that, to stimulate safety. It's good to feel good. Yeah, if something is for you, it will feel good. So for example, what about this person or this scenario authentically made you feel good, as opposed to that addiction energy, right? And that'll take some time to figure out, but like, if it feels good, then it's good for you. It shouldn't be doing this up and down shit. And people shouldn't be treating you that way either. When I surrender my will to the care of spirit, the universe, I attune my energy with an ever-present stream of well-being. Yeah. So this is where, I don't think you guys realize this because of all the abuse energy that happened to you, is usually when you're around other human beings, like maybe the reason why you have social anxiety or some other things is you're just being told I have to be careful. I just have to be careful because I'm going to set somebody off or I'm going to whatever. Most times when other human beings walk into a room with other human beings, they don't have a reaction. They're thinking, I'm going to have fun, or I'm going to learn something new, or they always feel comfortable. Being around crowds or around scary people is not supposed to be evoking strong reactions. You should feel comfortable being in crowds of people, and you should be comfortable being by yourself. That's the ideal scenario, right? Because everyone needs time by themselves, and every time, and all the time, or wow, I can't even talk. It's okay to be around other people. You should feel comfortable being around other people too. You shouldn't be getting this weird back and forth in between energy. And surrendering is the ability of you telling the universe, hey, I'm going to show up to this event as my authentic self, and I'm going to be taken care of. I'm not going to be XYZ thing here. Yeah, the stream of well-being, you should be maintaining taking care of yourself every single day, which is maybe something you weren't trained or learned to do. But that's intentional because abusive people don't want you taking care of yourself, because then you're not going to need them. And that's where the bond is created between you and that person. Not this person you're inquiring about, but these other traumatic people. I don't have to fear my fear. I can use it as a way to get closer to love. Yeah. Understand what are your true fears. Understanding that your inner world, I know it can feel scary at times. I know you can project things on other people. I know that you can make difficult decisions and you can be that way. But you have to stop treating yourself like you're not a human being. You have to stop treating yourself like you're just a voice in your head. You are responsible for engaging in your behavior and connecting to that. And if you can't, there's people who know how to help you. Okay? And you're like, nobody knows how to help me, or I can't afford it. And it's like, well, this tarot reading's a start. Okay? Start asking yourself questions, but compassion for yourself is the first and most important thing. Because if you see someone else was getting treated like crap, even if you're desensitized to it, everybody knows that that's not the way you treat another human being. Even abusers know that. So if you're doing that internally to yourself, and you turn inwards and that's going on, you're like, well, how do I stop it? And the first way is to say, well, let's think about something else, or a different way of looking at things. That's your first step. Oh, gosh. Yeah, and again, like maybe if you're out in public and you are kind of losing control a little bit, go into the bathroom and sit quietly for a little bit. Bathrooms are a really great safe place to reconnect with yourself and your boundaries. All right, this final card, this was like, I think this is just a message from Spirit, specifically for you guys, but let's go ahead and check it out. Why do we do this? Why don't you love me forever? Why don't you love me forever? Yeah, that kind of feels like the long and short of it is you're like, everyone else has people that want them around. Why do I gotta fight for it? Why do people want me to wear a mask so that way I can fit in? And I just want you to know that you don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to be in unsafe environments. And that your experiences created the version of you that I'm talking to today. But why do you want to be in that energy? Why do you want to be in the spaces that you're at? Because again, you're so used to the judgment, the yes, the no, the good, the bad, when right now, if you can't tell what's up from down, start asking why. And I don't know, I don't think you're a bad person. Pile number 3. I personally think that you have a lot of potential, a lot of life in you. If you wanted to help people and do good things, I really believe that you can. I don't know, there's just something that I just want to say that I believe in you. I believe in your healing journey. I believe in your ability to listen. Because maybe you always got told, like, you don't listen to me. Maybe some of you guys got undiagnosed ADHD. Who knows? Who cares? It doesn't matter because you can listen because you're listening right now. I want to say that I feel for you. My heart goes out to you. I hope you give yourself a chance to grow. And if change is scary, then just do baby steps. But I do want you to feel like someone asking you to change isn't an attack. It's about learning to let go of the pain. Because again, I'm just seeing the scenario of like, what if you saw someone that was beating up a dog or a cat and just, even after it's dead, they're still just beating on it? What does that do for anybody? You know? Really ask yourself, does that make you feel good? Maybe a piece of you will be like, yeah, ha, 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 but then like, no. You lose interest after a while. It loses its purpose and its steam. With the red flag, you know, the red angry energy, I just feel like there's just so much anger towards how you were treated that you just don't know where to put it. So you're trying to put it in other people. Maybe you're trying to use sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever. You just got all this rage that you got to put somewhere, when really you just got to let it out. Give it over to God. Give it over to the universe. Again, even if you don't believe in God, like, you know, you gotta put it somewhere. Just release it. You know? There's some visualization techniques you can do too, but this reading's already gotten too long, so... But I just want to spend some extra time with you guys, because I feel like people don't care enough, because they're not able to see what's going on here. But there are people that do see you, and I'm just glad that I was able to find you. Anyway, sending you guys a lot of love, and be careful with this relationship with this person, because right now, just overwhelmingly I'm hearing, focus on yourself first. You don't want to make this situation any more volatile or worse, or get other people involved when you've got to resolve your anger issues first. Yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Like, subscribe, and comment down below if this resonates with you, and, you know, book a session with me. Obviously, I don't know which audience I'm attracting, but there's this energy of y'all keep coming back here. And I hope it's doing something for you guys. Because this energy is very distinct. And I hope that y'all find the hope and healing, and the hidden mental treasures, and the shadow work you're doing. So, yeah. And you're like, don't say shadow work. And I'm like, guys, look into Carl Jung. All that other good stuff. All the psychology people. Anyways, take care. Bye. Hello everyone, you have chosen group number 4 with the black marker, and these are going to be your messages on what is actually going on between you and this other person. You guys got some energy, man. I don't know, I'm hearing this song called Emo Boy. It's kind of raunchy, so it's not safe for work. Yeah, so maybe this is like my punk group, this is my emo goth folks, but you guys have so much energy. Now the words I was hearing when I started your message was, let go, or like, you know, we got some Elsa, like, let it go, let it go. Again, I feel like you guys are like, enough with the bullshit. Oh, man, what's going on with you guys? You can't come with me. Man, there's so many people in this reading that y'all are just cutting people off left and right, and I'm like, whoa, I don't know how to let you go. Oh, messy. I hope you're happy for me. Ooh, I've been here before with others. Ooh, y'all, we're gonna have to take a time out here. So I know what you're doing. You're like, I'm so happy right now, but I'm looking over my shoulder to see if my ex is watching. I've been here before with other people. Blink, blink, blink. I don't know. There's just something about you that you're going through this cycle where you're trying to act like it's other people's fault when it's kind of your fault. Sorry, Spirit's coming out and clocking you with that one. But you can't come with me. You guys are definitely like, or this other person, there's this energy of like, nope, I'm exclusive. Or, no, after the way you treated me, hair flip, I'm I'm in my girl boss era, or I'm empowering myself, but like you don't know how to let this person go. And like you keep going back and forth between these two energies of like, yeah, I'm a boss bitch, I don't need anybody, or a boss man. And then there's like, I don't know how to let you go. And so it's like listen, we're all real here. Let's be honest. Like, I'm not sitting here judging y'all. I'm just saying, I know what this vibe is. It's like you're sitting there, like, yeah, like on stage, you're all powerful, and then like you go home and you're like just drinking and crying and like sobbing into your pillow, being like, why did he do that? And then you're talking to your girlfriends, so like, I'm gonna get over him. I can do it. Oh, and like, I don't know if you're trying to get validation from this this pile because you're just like secretly being like, you're looking for validation. Again, I hope you're happy for me. I don't know if that's coming from like your spirit guide team or this other person or your friends. I've been here before with others. Again, I feel like you guys are really relying on your friends to kind of guide you through this scenario because you're like, if I did the right thing, why am I hurting so much? Why am I having feelings? I thought I did the right thing. Why can't I let this person go? Like you're beating yourself up for almost like being addicted to this person or this energy or this vibe. Like, or maybe you're like, I'm always with the same type of people. Because at first I was going to be like, for the romantic people, it's almost like you keep dating the same types of partners. For the non-romantic people, it's like I keep encountering the same kinds of sharks in the water. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, man, I don't want to go swimming anymore if there's going to be this many sharks. But then you don't go back to the beach ever again. Or like there's kind of like this energy of like, I'll just get my toe wet, and then like when the sea is clear, you don't go out into the water because of the sharks, or someone mentions this person's name. I don't know, you guys get very like distracted. um you kind of give me lost puppy energy. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, like you guys kind of need that guidance through something from other people around you, otherwise you can't. You get very like disoriented. All right, let's see what's actually going on in this scenario. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so the words I'm hearing are you're the bad one in this scenario. The real question is, who is telling me this? Is this from spirit or this person? Ooh. Oh, I'm hearing like a girl laughing. Like, there's like a hee hee. Man, I feel like there's lack of accountability on all sides. Okay, both sides, because spirit wins in the end, but like, what the heck? Okay, I'm also hearing spiritual narcissism, so like maybe, for example, you're like, I'm a better tarot reader than he is, or like, I do all my spiritual practices and whatnot, but he doesn't or she doesn't, so why should I care or follow believe what they believe in or follow? When it's like your judgment's not very accurate here, pile number 4. Yeah, there's just a lot of ego in this group. Because it's like, it's not even about who's right or wrong. I think Spirit wants me to focus on the headspace and mentality both of y'all are at. Because I think both of you guys, you're either, I don't want to say you're stubborn, but there's like a lot of energies that are kind of like, I don't know, I don't like this, guys. The energy y'all are in. You did not break me. You are not part of my plan. Oh, I pretend that I don't care. I don't trust you. Oh, y'all, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, this is so petty. This is petty ass energy. You did not break me. I don't know if you tried going after somebody that is stronger than you. I do feel like this person knows how to fight. And you did not break me. It's almost like you tried saying something snarky to somebody. And this person was like, you don't play me at all. You know, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, there's kind of like you thought you were getting back at somebody when really this person's like, you're just a nuisance. And they could come back after you and smack you right back. There's varying levels of degrees about this, but I do feel like you guys have just a lot of this mutual same petty energy that both of y'all, oh my god, I'm thinking of like, Kendrick Lamar talking about like, something about hating hating a bitch when they're both hoes or something like that. It's kind of like sitting there like watching two people that are the same kind of toxic duke it out, and you're like, there's no winner here. You both are bad at what you're doing. You're not part of my plan. Yeah, I feel like you came in and like tried screwing something up or screwing with things because you thought you had a big divine plan, and this person's like, who are you? What did you say to me? Now, for granted, or to be fair, like, you didn't speak out a term. You know what I mean? Like, I do think, like, you had, like, an authentic energy with this. I do think that you came from, at least, you came from your heart space, but, like, you didn't approach this well at all. Yeah, like, this is failure on both sides. Like, they didn't listen to you because of the way you executed. With the, you are not part of my plan. There's something about, like, you're not a part of this, so what are you doing getting involved in that shit? You know, it's like, stay away from other people's bullshit. And, like, they're planning their own destiny. Why are you trying to come in and tell other people what to do? I pretend that I don't care. Yeah, you don't do a very good job of acting apathetic. And I think, like, this other person's definitely, like, ignoring you at this point because they're like, whatever. You know what I mean? And I think they do care a little because I think, if anything, what was shocking about what happened is, like, you didn't seem to care about the repercussions of what you said. And this person doesn't know how to feel. But I do feel like this person's a little wounded, authentically, because they're kind of like, oh, I didn't think that they would say that to me or say it in that way. You know what I mean? It's like, you could have come to me and asked me about what happened, actually. But instead, you went ahead and decided you want to be a drama king, be a drama queen. I don't know. I do feel, though, that this person also puts themselves on a pedestal. They're acting like the judge and jury with Saint Michael. I feel like this person's used to being treated like a saint or like the final judge on something. And they're used to being the one that brings the hammer down when really you're both just bitching. Yo, Spirit Guide team coming in with this Loki-ass energy. Like, damn, like, Loki will make you both look like fools. I don't trust you. Yeah, there's, like, a lot. What caused this whole problem in the first place is no one's trusting their intuition. No one's trusting each other. No one's trusting anything about what's going on. Are y'all both delusional? Like, I don't know. Like, again, I'm in my Loki energy right now, and I'm, like, looking at this guy, and I'm sitting here going, like, please get off your ass. Get off your pedestal. Get out of your chair and like, really look at what was going on. You know what I mean? Because if you got people coming out of the woodwork saying this shit, then you need to acknowledge that you need to stop playing this role for other people. I feel like this person, and this could be like a masculine energy versus a feminine energy. I don't want to use that, though, because y'all think it has to do with people's penises and vaginas when it's about energy. But there's definitely like this special little connection here going on where y'all are connected divinely, but you don't want to look at each other because you're ashamed of each other because you both do the same shit. I don't trust you because this person is always used to other people doling out, like, this person as the responsible one, but they get put on an inflated pedestal because a lot of it's this person doesn't know how to self-regulate, and because other people don't want to step up and they like, maybe this person's like attractive or people really don't stand up to this person. This person has like an altered sense of self and ego that they can't see outside of them. Maybe check out pile number 4 or 3. Those numbers are coming out. 2 as well, but I don't think 2 is as relevant. 2 might be more of your pile. Group number 4. But with the I pretend I don't care, you both are doing this. Stop. It's obviously affecting you guys' work. It's affecting your ability to communicate. Like, but the thing is, you came out with this sassy-ass energy thinking like, oh yeah, I really showed him. No, you didn't. You didn't do shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, were you thinking that because you're a divine feminine and you got all this fluff and stuff that you're respected by this person somehow? This person should have respected you. And they do respect you to a degree. But you didn't show up in that divine feminine energy, hun. And that's very condescending. So, like, I don't know if that's, like, the masculine frequency to her or vice versa. Like there's definitely like this critical energy where you just go back and forth and back and forth, and it's like, what are we trying to accomplish here? I don't even know what the argument was about, because this just feels like a nasty back and forth accusatory energy that's really not healthy for either of you. I know it's complicated and hard. I still want you anyway. Yeah, there's some love that's going on between the two of you. Maybe that's been unacknowledged for a while. And someone's feeling slighted. I feel like the masculine energy is trying to work to forget and forgive you, because they're just like, oh, well, this person's just another bitch anyway. Which I'm like, excuse you? Why would you say that? And then the feminine side is like, I don't have a heart left for this person. You know, like, this person used me. This person did blah, blah, blah. But like, you're like, I thought we were friends. And maybe there was like, you were sending them mixed signals versus this person's just trying to do their job. I don't know, there's kind of like this entitled energy on the feminine side where you were feeling because you existed or this person cared about you that you deserved a certain way of going about things. And like, it wasn't in alignment with this person, and it wouldn't have been such a problem if you didn't have the entitled ass attitude with it. I'm sorry, you're not acknowledging that this person's needs are different. This person is special and unique, and you're special and unique. But that doesn't give you a right to, like, exclude each other from each other's lives or from communication. Like, I feel like with, like, maybe you guys believed in telepathy and then you guys were missing signals or what. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm done with y'all. Y'all are just, this toxic energy back and forth is y'all's own personal shit. You know what I mean? If you want to sit in this energy, go for it. But like everyone else, we're tired. You know, the rest of us are tired of watching this shit. Don't worry, it's my love you're feeling. Yeah, you guys don't know what love means. I'm sorry. Like, if y'all thought that this divine connection was love, don't waste your breath. Okay? Or at least that's the energy that's feeling mutual. I think like you guys have just been bleeding out on each other and using each other as punching bags. With the don't worry, I think that's your spirit guide team saying, don't worry, you're gonna get to the gold at some point after resolving and healing through this. But right now, I think you gotta just like release all this, like, the damage that was done, or like realize the damage that was caused here. You know, like, you opened up in a way, but the way you open up backfired. Like, was this person a safe person to go to with that shit? No. Were you a safe person for that person to go to with your shit? No. You know what I mean? Like, y'all are coming at it from all the wrong angles and you're just trying to hurt each other because you trusted each other and you loved each other, but then you didn't. Because that's not what love does. You don't treat each other like punching bags. You don't talk shit about the person that you love in that way. Especially to other people. Why are you going around causing drama? Why are you going around treating people this way? That's what you're connected is. Y'all are so enmeshed in your own toxicity that it's like, you guys aren't even bad people, but when you're together, you're bad together. And not because you don't love each other, it's because you don't understand your like the enmeshment you guys have with each other's flaws is really what's harming you guys. Because you guys don't want to face you guys don't want to face that your own shit stinks. You know what I mean? You haven't worked through that yet. And other people are so tired. They're so tired of your speeches. They're so tired of your, like, games that y'all are playing together. You know what I mean? It's like you're trying to bring in all these other people into your bullshit, and everyone's like, why don't you guys just fuck it out and fight? Then let it go. Just, if you hate each other that much, then let it go. Why are you doing this to each other? It's the stillness in your heart that sets me on fire. Yeah, like, that's what's even worse about this, okay? Y'all, like, I don't know. I feel like the masculine energy is a little bit more aware of what's going on because this person has their feet a bit more grounded on the earth. This feminine's just spinning out. Because it's struggling to understand the emotions behind a lot of this and processing why this person did this toxic thing. And this person isn't toxic, but they did this toxic thing to try to get a grip on a situation, which they should have been called out for. But again, you didn't do it the right way, so then now it's screwing up all these other people that have been trying to fix this shit. But that's also there's all this deflecting energy from this person being a jerk. You know, like, there's, like, the projection of the feminine trying to protect the masculine's divinity and image when they're just not a good person, or they're not good towards other people. And I think that's where the lie is here, is literally being like the feminines genuinely calling out something that's bad, and it should have been done in a professional way or in a better method. The masculines coming out here seeing their fragile egos hurt, so then they feel justified in what they're doing because they're just seeing you as another hater. But really, what's happening is all these people are bowing down and worshiping an image that's no longer there. You know what I mean? The person underneath is scarred and hollow, and they're not doling out judgments from a heart space or a soul space anymore. And like, it's that stillness that brings you two together when you're not fighting and you're not fucking and you're not doing all this crazy shit. You're at peace. Where did that go, you guys? That's where the divinity is. In those moments when you're laying in bed, just existing and listening to each other breathe. That's what it was all about. That's what was divine. Not this fighting, not this loving and passionate whatever. That's where it is. The I don't trust you. You don't trust each other, so you don't trust yourselves in your own judgment. And so then you're causing yourself to spin and freak each other out. You guys are literally self-harming yourself and contributing to each other's self-harm. Because you have the same dynamic, or just compliments coming from different angles. God damn, this is so dumb. I'm sorry. I'm like... And it's crazy too, because it's like I'm getting to the truth of this matter, but like... There's all this deflection. Energy. Maybe you guys really do love each other, and you just learned that loving each other means this toxicity. You're just gonna blame the other person and walk away? But that's not what is being told? What? Man, I'm so confused. You're stuck in my mind like heartbreak. You broke me open. Yeah, somebody here was heartbroken. Like, they got their heart broken by this other person. This toxic person doesn't give a shit about what's going on. They died inside a long time ago, y'all. What are you doing messing with this energy? You want to heal them and make them come back? Then go away. Just leave. Man, I feel like I'm having a conversation between two different people. It's like these two energies are going back and forth trying to talk to each other. Like you're stuck in my mind. Yeah, it's like you can't get away from what happened because you're in disbelief that this person's gone. You know? Yeah. Like, you can't be good for this person when this person's not there right now. I don't know if they're ever coming back. Because for some of you guys, they might do that healing, but it's always got to be on their own time. And you're the same way. You're clearly not healing and taking care of shit. You want to mess around in other people's business because you can't handle your own shit. And this person doesn't want anything to do with that. But at the same time, that person's out there chopping people's heads off. And you want to feel special because you want to be a part of that dynamic. Why? It's silly. If you both love each other, come together. Yeah, I'm feeling like perpetrator-victim energy, so that could also be a dynamic that you're playing out internally. I couldn't get any harder if I'd tried. Yeah. This feels like sexual energy gone sour. Like, I don't know if you guys, like, hate fuck, or, like, you do... Like, you self-harm through sex. One of them you guys do. But, like, it's kind of like this fighting turns you on, but it's so toxic and narcissistic. Yeah. It's like this person, the feminine energy, uses the masculine to harm themselves and then blames the masculine for them harming themselves, versus the masculine energy feels spent and used because their heart space is used up and wasted and drained and doesn't want to fight anymore. God damn, y'all. Man, I hope y'all are in therapy. I hope both of you are in therapy. What the fuck? Okay. I hate this officially. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to be judgmental, but y'all, please get some help. when I'm in a state of appreciation, I'm in vibrational alignment with my true love nature. Yeah, you guys got to reconnect with yourselves. Get back in touch with nature. Get away from people. You guys are getting really bad opinions about this situation. And, like, remember the love. If this person's causing you to turn you into somebody you're not, that's a clear sign it's a no. Go back to the person you were and reevaluate what you're doing. Like, seriously. Don't make a fool of yourself in front of these other people. You're making a mockery of your friends, your family, your relationships. Like, everybody's like, come on. Don't do this to yourself. Don't do this between this other person. This person needs healing too. Okay, you both, yeah. My greatest spiritual shifts don't come through force, they come through freedom. What aren't you guys freeing yourselves from? Why don't you want to be free from this? Because what you're thinking is love. This isn't what love feels like, guys. This is addiction. This is narcissism or narcissist empath. This is perpetrator victim. Check out my blog. I'm gonna have a link to it in the description because I love talking about perpetrator victim energy because so many of y'all, it's tied into addiction. It's tied into survival instinct. So many relationships are founded on this energy that you don't know how to distinguish what's you and what's not. And if you have an imbalance of this power dynamic inside of you, then you're going to attract its opposite within people. Because like you maybe could be either person in this scenario where maybe you tried to stand up for yourself, but you did it in the wrong way. So then you're the bad person. But the point is like, to me, I'm like, why do we got to put labels on people? Does there have to be a good person and a bad person? Blame the energy. Blame the dynamics that are playing. Because if it wasn't for those dynamics, y'all two would probably be happier. You probably would have been fine. But also, too, you guys don't want to acknowledge your lack of, like, I was about to say compatibility, but, like, that doesn't even feel true. I was like, compassion? Like, what? Like, you guys care about each other. Maybe you're siblings. Maybe you're friends. Like, what the fuck is this? I don't know. I'm just kind of like, why? Like, I can do less and attract more. Yeah. Stop trying to control everything, guys. This situation is going to come back up. And the less you do, the more it's going to heal. Okay? So stop trying to antagonize it, inflame it, make it worse. Set some clear boundaries. And just do your job. And that's to love each other. They're coming back. Okay? Because this is like an addiction. And until you guys quit being addicts and start being lovers, this is not going to go through. And it's not going to go very well. They come through freedom. You guys have to let each other be free to be themselves. Okay? Let this person, if this person wants to go around and screw a bunch of people, let them go screw a bunch of people. If you want to get into a committed relationship, go get into a committed relationship. Stop including them in all this shit. You're not even close. You know what I mean? You don't know each other that well. I mean, you do. And, like, that's what's so strange about it is, like, you guys are, like, the inside out of each other. And that's where the lesson is. It's so important that you see yourself in this other person so you acknowledge what you're not doing for you. And that's going to bring you closer together, if anything, when you finally start seeing your shit stinks. When I live and act from a place of spiritual alignment, I can trust that everything is working out for me, even if I don't know when or how it will happen. Yeah, this is the kind of energy where it's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Spirit doesn't know. Y'all don't know because y'all don't know. We don't know how you don't know, but you don't trust you. You don't trust you. You don't trust them. How it will happen. You know what I mean? You guys are like, how are we going to fix this? And you're like driving yourself nuts. And it's just like, guys, you can trust it's going to work out. And you know what trusting means? Trusting. It's not that hard. You don't know how. This is a primary example of it, where it's like if this person's going to the gym to go work out, and you think that they're cheating on you, why can't you just let them go work out? You know what I'm saying? Like, this person is literally so fucking tired of having people accuse them of cheating or doing all these other things. And then they do cheat. Because they're like, it doesn't fucking matter what I do because I'm always wrong. Where does that judgment come from? Maybe you're like, I never accused them of cheating. Da, 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 da. It's like, you did with your energy. You did with your vibes. Why didn't you give them a chance to like come forward towards you authentically? Oh, but they weren't healthy enough to come towards you. So you couldn't wait? Maybe there's blackmail? Maybe there was other things? I don't know. I feel like you really dropped the ball on this situation, and I'm disappointed in you. Other people are as well, but you made your choice. So, and you don't know which way it's going to go. But they'll come through freedom. Freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom from all of this. And I feel like, you know, your heart's in the right space right now. That is the one thing I can tell you guys, group number 4, is like your heart knows what it wants. It knows what it's feeling. And I know that this seems very hard, but trust me, it's a lot fucking easier than you guys realize. You guys are spinning out and it's just not, it's not good for you guys, okay? Just, I feel so tired, you know? I'm tired for you guys. We got victory. I'm like, do you want to be in reverse or upright? I'm hearing reverse, but I feel like things could turn around. We've got 28. You know, victory's just telling me, like, a chapter's closing with this person. And Spirit's kind of telling me, like, you can still have hope. You can still go, like, you can still go back in time, but, like, quit focusing on being the winner and focus on what does victory actually look like to you. You're winning when you're in alignment with your best self. And when you're with your best friend. Okay? And like, you guys are way too stubborn within yourselves and outwardly about trust. Okay? Because that's where you're winning, is when you're not worried about controlling things and you're just existing and having a good time. We've got door to value in reverse. Yeah, you could have lost some money as a result of this connection. You could be heading towards financial ruin. You could have talked shit to the wrong person. Now they're going to start talking shit to the people around you to not work with you. There's something about value where, like, I feel like nobody won. And value is just... things are plummeting. Because this person didn't want to see what they didn't want to see and acknowledge what they didn't want to. And then you ran around and you spread shit everywhere. And now it's just bad. You know what I mean? You're not doing anybody any services anymore. Yeah. Don't take free advice from anybody. There's just like money just floating out there. But it can come back. You can do something else with it, but like, I don't know, I think money is just such a focal point in this conversation when that wasn't the point. I'm feeling so just disappointed in like myself and others, and like, I don't know what to say. We've got 16, patience. I feel like this cycle, toxic cycle, was a lesson in patience, where you didn't know when to let go of a scenario or a situation, when you didn't know to let go of a person. And I think, like, I'm seeing like this spiritual woman where it's like holding a clock. And I think this is just kind of acknowledgement from Spirit that someone who's worth your time and value, they'll wait, but divine timing is at play in this connection. And if you don't want to wait, then don't wait. You know? This is just a person after all. And, you just have to take more responsibility for your thoughts, words, and actions. And with this angel person, I just feel like you really misjudged this person. And regardless of what you say, think, or feel, like, I feel like the divine feminine was the one that got hurt the most in this scenario. Again, it doesn't matter if you're the divine feminine or this is the feminine and the other person, like, the divine feminine got hurt. And there's not really going back from that. You know, because, again, both parties, I think, didn't show up authentically, and because they chose violence or anger towards each other instead of being in a loving frequency, I think that hurt everybody even more. The thinking man in reverse, 46. Yeah, somebody is talking shit about you. I don't know, I'm seeing someone looking at a phone. So I don't know if this person's ruminating about what was said. I was almost feeling like the killing. Like, there's almost like, yeah, like, it feels like something was like killed. Or like, I don't know why killing is the right word. It just feels like there's just this aggressive energy that had no place to go. And you didn't talk to anybody about it first. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you posted something on social media that did not go well. You didn't talk to anybody about it or how to proceed the right way. Didn't acknowledge what your spirit guides were saying. So I was like, okay, you want to do that? Okay. You don't have to talk to me about it because I already know what was said and done, but like, it's over. But it's not over. All right, contract. Yeah, so there might be some legal action that's going on behind closed doors, or maybe there's a case being opened, or like with balancing of the scales. I feel like justice is going to be served against this person. So like whoever was doing some illegal shit, you're gonna see the consequences of what you said and did. Okay. It's just that with this contract, I feel like part of the soul contract, it could have turned out differently, and it could go better if both parties co-sign on it. You know? Again, maybe this person, yeah, I'm just feeling like this defamation thing that just wasn't okay. And maybe it had to do with a contract, you know? Or maybe a social contract, but with like the blind, like the girl having her eyes covered, I just definitely feel like if you want to navigate this scenario, you have to go at it from intuition, and you're going in blind. And I think just understanding that you don't know what you're looking at right now. And just be very, very careful and cautious about who you tell things to, and just try to be as balanced and neutral as possible right now. Don't say anything, don't think or feel about it, or at least maybe that's what you're trying to do, but that's not going to help either of you. I think you guys just need to let it out separately, go your own pathways, and then whatever's going to need to happen happens. I don't know. I'm so frustrated, guys. I don't know what you guys are supposed to do, because like there's just like this very conflicting energy, and I don't know if this is you guys, but it feels like both of you guys are like, but that's not it though, you know? All right, I'm gonna pull one last card, or one last round of cards, because I personally want clarification about like what the heck though, what is like the underlying energy though, because like I don't want to say it's like it's all gonna work out, but it's like it's not gonna work out if you don't listen to your intuition. But like also like, what do you do? I'll wait for you. Don't lose hope, honey. Yeah, maybe just like wait this situation out. Don't say anything. You'll never be a memory to me. Yeah, there's something about like someone's not acknowledging the memories between the two of you, and like what you meant to each other. And what was the purpose of the whole journey that you guys went on together. I'll give you my heart and soul if you'd let me. Again, let me is important. If I could find words to express how I feel, I'd never stop talking. That's why I can't talk at all. Yeah, you guys are like getting way too choked up and closed off. And the message from Spirit is saying, don't close yourself off, be open. But if you are going to be open, just tread carefully, you know, because you're not in a healthy space, this person's not, and like talking is not gonna solve things in the way that you think. Just wait. Please, for the love of God, wait. Talk to your therapist. Cool off. Pull down the things from social media. And just wait. Wait to talk about things with who you're supposed to talk to. And like immediately you're gonna understand why you're causing a shit show. Right? Yeah. Anyways. Just take it down, talk about it, and you're gonna know what's up pretty soon. And it's gonna be a good thing, but like, yeah, you're gonna be surprised, and yeah. Anyways, you're gonna get some hate, but I think it's gonna be okay. Because again, you didn't, at the end of the day, you weren't the one chopping people's heads off. However, you did cause a stir. So we'll see. Use your intuition, guys. And again, just keep working on your heart space. All right? That's the frequency you should be working through. Anyways, send you guys a lot of love. I appreciate you all. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you are wanting to support my YouTube channel. Again, check out the links in the description down below for like the blog post and all these other things. And let me know if you want to book a personal message from me. Teehee. Anyways, I will see you all next time. Take care. Hello everyone, you have chosen group number 5 with the yellow, orangey, it's kind of yellow, marker. And this is going to be your messages on what is actually going on between you and this person. I don't know, I feel like you guys feel really relieved. Or you're just like, I need to just get through this situation. I feel like you guys are very hopeful, you've got energy, you're inspired. Either by this other person or this connection, but you're kind of going through some doubts. I'm looking at Saint Michael or Archangel Michael, and I feel like you guys are like, maybe you're idealizing someone or something. Maybe you guys like utilize other people's relationships and putting it as like a point of reference. Because I was about to say like a pedestal, which is like kind of, but it feels more like you're watching what other people are doing. You're like, okay, they got this right, or they're doing this, and so I want to implement that. I don't know if you watch a lot of YouTube videos or you're really trying to work on your fitness to try to like improve your life. Yeah, I just see a lot of hope. Maybe you're thinking about someone with golden blonde hair. Or there's just something about like maybe the hairstyle of this person's significant. I don't know. Or your hair is standout. I don't know. I was careless with you. I wondered how far this would go. I know more than you think. And I fantasize about you. Ooh, there's some tea here. Man, all of the stuff is coming out tonight. So, I don't know if you didn't acknowledge your feelings for somebody, or you're kind of trying to let go of a scenario and trying to stay positive. Because you're like, okay, I'm marching to the beat of my own drum. I'm getting my self-confidence again. I wondered how far this would go. I think you're kind of like testing yourself. In terms of, I don't know, I'm seeing you trying to, like, accomplish things. Like, maybe you're trying to become more of yourself. Maybe you are going out of your way to support somebody, and you're not sure what's going to happen. You're sticking your leg out for this person. This could also be, like, in terms of, like, a business relationship, I feel like you're kind of like, okay, I'm kind of, like, working on myself right now, and I'm like, this relationship's in the back burner, so I don't know how much energy I should put into it, but like, you're really like focused and driven on something else. You're focused on your goals. With I Was Careless with You, I feel like you believe this person was just kind of like, I don't know if they were like mocking you, or they kind of just like dropped the ball with you, so you said, okay, I'm gonna keep moving. And you're like kind of like moving ahead, and like, again, I don't get quite the whole looking over your shoulder energy quite as much as like the last pile, but I fantasize about you. I think you are just wondering genuinely, how is this person doing? How do I let this person go? Or how do I like move forward? Because I don't feel like this person's currently in your life, but they're in your frequency, if that makes sense. The I know more than you think, you believe on your side that this person knows more than they're showing. So there's something about this person, I feel like it's probably a masculine energy. You could be the feminine or vice versa. And again, if you don't take genders, then don't use it. But you believe this other person knows what they're doing. Maybe they're doing something wrong, or you felt like this person was aware of their actions. With that, I wondered how far this could go. I think you felt that this person was just testing you, or yet they were just trying to be like, I don't know, I'm thinking of a very specific scenario where I had a friend who I really supported, and they were kind of were in their ego, and I was like, okay. So I just walked away, to kind of see were they gonna follow after me or whatever. And when they didn't, you're like, okay. And you thought that this person was crashing out, or this person was kind of like, what? How could you do this? Surprise Pikachu face. But you're kind of smiling because you're like, ha, I showed them. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what Spirit has to say. Oh my god, you just dodged a bullet. Oh god. Spirit was like, you don't know what you were getting into with this person. Oh god. Thank god you didn't romantically get involved with this person, because this person was toxic. Like, I'm hearing, like, Britney Spears level of just, like, doing the dancing. Like, I feel like this person was trying to get under your skin and it didn't work. Oh no. No. Like, I feel like, I don't know if this person moved back in with their parents, or they live with their parents, or like there's just this energy of like, you're not gonna miss this person once you hear this tea. Oh my gosh. First of all, they immediately started talking shit about you. And not like talking shit about like yeah, this is like a justifiable thing. They just made things up and started telling people random ass things about you, which nobody believes because it was that ridiculous sounding. This person got egg on their face. They didn't want to touch you, but instead of just telling you that, they came up with all of these lies about you being judgmental and whatever, which, I mean, like, to a certain degree, you were kind of like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said this to them, but you were the victim and you didn't even know it because it didn't work on you. Oh, no. You dodged a bullet, guys. Congratulations, your autism saved the day. Or if you're not autistic, you just kind of sat there and was like, whatever, then boom! This person had karma hit them real quick. I don't know, like, if they were friends with one of your friends, and then you dropped some lore, and this person immediately went back and told that person, and then that person got pissed, and then the other person was like, hold up, why did you say that? And then you realized that that person was also making shit up. There was just, like, some kind of a love triangle thing, or people were... There's like a couple different scenarios here, but the point is that someone was talking shit in a way that was, like, not good for either person. But, like, you were scapegoated because you didn't make a mistake. You know what I mean? It's kind of like this whole energy of, like, let these two people fight it out and then realize that they're both wrong versus you were just trying to help somebody. And then they made themselves both look bad. Oh god. And then they had a falling out and there was a fight. I would only let you go so I could make sure you're safe. I love you more than pride. Yeah, I think, like, you came at this person with, like, a very authentic, loving energy. You were trying to make sure this person was safe. And this person's toxicity fundamentally, like, blew this out of the water. Where they were, like, trying to say, like, you're a racist, you're XYZ, you don't know me. Like, they're, like, I feel like they genuinely thought, or they were trying to make it sound like when you said that you loved them, that you were, like, lying or trying to manipulate, when it's like, it's not, like, no one even believes that. This is this person, because that's what this person was doing to you. This person was lying and saying they loved you, they were using you for sex. Not even that, it was pride. Like, this person's so shallow and too prideful to let you go that they had to make a situation, like, or they consulted or confided in a way that they didn't, like, they would never acknowledge that they were wrong. Okay, so it had to be you were in the wrong, but then when they tried to do their smear campaign, and then people just found out or figured out that you just really loved them, it made them look foolish. Like, yo, oh my god, y'all. Oh, you played this person and you didn't even know it. Yeah, they were like, I would only let you go if blah, 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 blah. And, like, you let them go because you were genuinely heartbroken and you thought you were safe with them. And, like, I don't know what divine intervention spirit made you guys, like, break up or break things off. Spirit's just reassuring you that you are safe from this person. You are safe from this frequency, and like it's over. The conflict's moved on, but like the I love you. Oh God, you genuinely love this person, and this person like secretly hated you. Or they secretly despised you. I love you more than I could ever let myself be. Yeah, like you gave up. I'm sorry. This is so sad. Like you came in with authentic energy towards this person. You were like really trying to love this person authentically. Like you were patient with them. You were admitting your faults. You were going out of your way to either give this person rides, money, help, support, because you loved them. And not only did this person not love you, they hated you for it. This is so disgusting and disappointing. I'm so sorry. Like, this is sad. Like, I feel sad for you guys that you're just now feeling this energy. I just need a date to the movies. Yeah, you guys literally were begging for scraps from this person. You were just like, can we just like sit and watch a movie and have a good time and snuggle? Can we talk about our feelings? Can we talk about our day? Could you like take me on a date? And this person was so shallow that they had to go out and literally talk shit about how you wouldn't take them on dates when you were doing all these nice things for them. They wanted you to show up when they weren't providing shit. The movies, oh my God, this is like oh God. I know exactly what was happening here. This person genuinely thought that they're like a movie star, or because of someone they're related to, that they're gonna be like famous. So then, or like making $1 million or whatever. And so then they genuinely thought that you were being narcissistic because they are. And they literally projected this onto you. But they're so insecure that they physically could not break up with you. Break things off themselves because they can't have that sort of egg on their face. And other people can't know. But then when you, like, when they described what you did for them, this person's so toxic and narcissistic that it exposed their own narcissism. That's how bad this went, y'all. Because when people realized that you genuinely loved them and went out of your way to do all these things for them, and people heard them bragging and talking shit when they know that you would never have done those things or said those things, this backfired so bad on this person. This was their karma. Because then people, like, I don't know if like people disowned them or whatever, but they were cut out. Maybe this is like pile 3 energy. I don't know. Your strength and light give me courage and hope. Yeah, like, I feel like you guys, you give so much light and courage and hope to other people. Like, of all of these other piles, this is the least dramatic pile where you guys, like, you just go out there and you have a good time. Like, you just want to love people. And, like, the hate that you got in this connection and from other people is so unnecessary. Like, again, like, maybe this is, like, a family member or a friend. Or this is definitely frenemy, for sure. But this is, like, you just going out there trying to be like, I want to love you authentically. And, like, I'm seeing, like, Dances with Wolves when the wolf kept trying to come back because he liked that man and then he gets shot. Like, that's what happened, except you didn't get shot, you just ran away. But an angel took the bullet for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, that, or I kind of feel like, for example, if this was like a work scenario or someone in your family was protecting you, in a way by like not telling you the harmful things that this person was saying about you behind their back. Like I could see like a parent definitely pretending that this other parent wasn't talking shit, or like, you know what I mean? Just because people were like, you don't even need to know that this person has harbored this nasty ass energy against you. Because it's like, this person really loves you, you know, by not telling you the truth. Because this is kind of one of those things where it's like, there is no reason to be saying that kind of shit. And that other person, like, no offense, like, you got protected from being made aware of what was said. And like, don't ask me, because I'm not saying, because I'm like, no, you're a sparkly special snowflake. Like, no. You keep me real. Yeah, I think you had a hard time having conversations with this person that were real because you were keeping it real. Like, you are that person. And I think, like, with this fake movie star energy or whatever, like, I'm sorry, this person feels very narcissistic, like, and I don't want to use that term in the clinical sense, but like this person has narcissistic tendencies. And with the you keep me real, because you're kind of that person, or at least you have an energy that this person wants to embody and they can't. That's why they're like mirroring this energy and siphoning it with like you keeping me real, like because you held them accountable. Maybe their parents don't hold them accountable. Maybe they've got like an endless supply of money. And what I feel like is this person definitely feels like they manipulate their family. Like, oh God, this is toxic. Yeah. Because it's kind of like, you're the real deal. Okay. Like, you're the one that goes out there. Like, maybe you do all the work, maybe you're whatever, and you thought this person was legit until you saw behind the scenes where you saw the work ethic, you saw all this other stuff, and you expect people to carry them, or they expect you to carry them. And with the you keep me real, like, you thought this person was reflecting that energy back to you. And you thought, oh, wow, this person's humbling me, this person's helping me no. They'd laugh in your face. If anything, they're laughing to themselves about how they got to play someone as great as you. That's what messes me up about this energy, is they're literally laughing about this stuff. They laugh to themselves to sleep, and then they cry. Not because they hurt you, but because they cry because they can't connect to anybody and anyone. And because they're not a movie star, where they can just treat people like shit, no matter what. Yeah, there's like an evil laugh to this person that's just like, why? And even if it's like a part of them, you shouldn't be out here messing with people like this. What the heck? I feel like you were warned about this person, but you didn't fully see this. Yeah, I feel like your spirit guide team's like just really blocking you from this energy and knowing the full truth, because it would probably just break your heart and it wouldn't help you. You know what I mean? Like, I try to channel things that are productive to you, but I think now's the time that the secret was exposed, that this person really was the opposite from your team. Because you're learning how to grow and change and heal. You know, you gotta go fast. Dance with me, darling. Your heart is so sweet, tender, and pure. Yeah, they preyed on you. They knew that you were sweet and nice and compassionate, and God, this all backfired so bad on them, though. That's so funny. But to me, it's just like sad for everybody, you know, because this person's never going to connect to the light that you have because they're stubborn and they don't have it in here. You know, they let that go, and that's not your fault. You embody my deepest fantasies. Yeah, you got to let go of the fantasy, the fantasy that this person really cared about you. Yeah, there's like a lot of fantasizing. Like, I feel like maybe you guys, you really like fiction. You use fiction and escapism a lot. Especially with this person, because I really think you guys had to like create a fantasy in your head about who this person was in order to be with them. And I don't know how long this connection was. It could have been a year, could have been longer, but I think this person was a highlight to your deeper fantasies. You got to experience them, and then you got to walk without the consequences. Thank God. Yeah, there's something about maybe this connection that the reason why you were connected is they embody something that you don't have, right? It's just that you were blocked from all the toxicity because you're smart and you're special and you shine really bright. Aw, and because you're going to help a lot of people. So it's like, of course you're going to meet people like this all the time. You know, as long as you know how to protect yourself, you know, like, again, take yourself on a date to the movies. If when you start taking care of you better, then these people are going to stand out like sore thumbs. You know? I don't know if my timer is working. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I just feel like you lost something in this connection. But you didn't lose them, you lost something else. You lost time. And that's valuable, guys. Especially when you're trying to move forward and move faster and think. And, you know, your spirit guide team acknowledges that lessons need to be learned, but you don't need to learn them for that long. You know, like, if you know something's not meant for you, then don't go towards it. I don't know if, again, like, I just want to reassure you guys, like, again, like, it's not your fault that this thing happened. You're still on the right path, but I'm just saying that was what you're supposed to take away from this connection, is learning and being exposed to that kind of frequency. And you can take as long as you need to learn the lesson, but if you're going places, you don't have time to be fantasizing about someone that wasn't for you. This was the lesson you needed to learn. Okay? And it's okay to acknowledge it, you know? We all take our own time, and I think that's why, like, divine timing brought you to these messages now today when you weren't available for them in the past. Again, assuming that you're following your intuition, you're not just watching me willy-nilly. I couldn't tell you face-to-face. More confirmation. I hope I will see you again sometime. Yeah. This just feels like a lot of your energy. I couldn't tell you face-to-face. I feel like there were things that you couldn't tell this person face-to-face. But I do think you communicated enough in what you were willing to do and what you weren't willing to do. I think that's important too, is like your communication saved you in this. Because you can't, like, this person doesn't have anything on you, because if you show the text message that you sent, any reasonable person would see it and go, oh, that makes sense. Because this person's a narcissist or has this blockage and distortion or has like this dystopian mindset, when they see it, they have a very different reaction. And this is where you highlight the darkness in this person. Because you're coming from a light energy, this person's from the exact opposite, and so everything that they see that is light, they try to turn to darkness. And so when other people are just kind of neutral about it, they're like, whoa, what? Where did you get this assumption from this text message? And that's when things start to fall apart between you and this person. Because if you knew how they were trying to destroy your reputation with normal things that you said, I mean, they're sealing their own demise. You know what I mean? They're just making it worse for themselves. And that's their karma. And you gotta let them live out their karma. I hope I will see you again. I know you want to. But please don't. Don't reach out to them. Don't. I know maybe you're feeling bad because, again, you have a heart of gold and you're like, I want everybody to be healed and blah, 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 but, like, don't do that to yourself. Please just focus on what the people that make you smile. You've got such a great future ahead of you. Don't waste time with losers anymore. Yes, it is too late. Yeah, I feel like this person's already moved on with another person to siphon their energy off of, and they don't think about you. Not at least in the ways that you think about them. They're not having any regrets because to them, they didn't do anything wrong. And that's where you're different. Is you showed up and owned when you made mistakes. This person doesn't have the balls to do that. And again, some of it could be a personality disorder, and some of it could just be they're an asshole. It doesn't matter. We don't have to make a judgment here. All I can tell you is it's too late. And thank God it's too late, because you're now not capable of unseeing their shit. And this is also a good checkpoint to say, look at all the work you did. Look at how much you've expanded, because now you're looking at the person that you thought was like your best friend and realizing that they were such an asshole to you that you can't go back to this. You've grown. You changed. You did it. You learned the lesson. And this is just confirmation and just providing you some comfort with the fact that you are doing all the things that are necessary to grow and change and heal. That's the lesson that you needed. That's what Spirit's pushing you towards, is growth. You didn't do anything wrong. Okay? Yeah, you could have maybe done some things a little differently, but they weren't wrong. And just don't completely judge yourself or this person. But I think you're having just a hard time of letting them go because you loved them. And there's no shame in that, okay? We all love people that hurt us. And we want them to come with us. But they can't sometimes. And this person shouldn't, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if you were like, oh yeah, I'm going to take this person to the top with me. Oh, hell no. Hell no. This person would have tanked everything off the get-go. Why you gotta be that way? Oh, God. I'm waiting for an apology. Yeah, I feel like you also compared this person to somebody else, and, like, they have very different ideals. You know what I mean? Maybe you're like, oh, I met someone who was like them before, so they're gonna be similar. No, don't do that. I'm waiting for an apology. I think you are waiting for an apology from other people as a result of hearing this, but, like, I don't think you're gonna get one, and I don't think it's worth the wait. Being perfectly honest, it's like, yeah, it's too late. Like, who cares? If you're waiting on an apology, you're just spinning more towards... To me, it's like, why? This person's not worth your time and energy. I bury myself in work to forget you. Yeah, you should work out a little bit. just work it out or work through this healing process, because their energy frequency is still in your field because they're siphoning. They're sirens, okay? Like, they're literally just pulling your energy down. And this isn't about them intentionally doing anything. They're not doing, like, spiritual work. It's you, your energy, you know, like, maybe this person was your comfort person. Maybe this was, like, I'm trying to bury my feelings about this instead of healing them. And it's like, now's your chance to let go. Now you know the truth. Now you can finally say, okay, I'm cutting the cord, I'm cutting the cycle between me and this person, and I can move forward. And feel happy about it too, you know, because it's like, you healed. That's what you should be joyful about, is the fact that you healed and you identified it, and you can now neutrally say, oh, I'm so sorry, that's not for me. You know better. Oh, I'm just so proud of you guys. I know I was a distraction from your pain. Yeah. I think this person knew that that's what you were doing, because otherwise they would never have access to a person like you. On top of it, like, you weren't able to be honest with yourself about the fact that this person was a distraction. I think you came up with so many lies to yourself to try to justify keeping this person around instead of facing your fears of another situation. Yeah, focus on your pain right now and heal it. It's okay. Like, again, I don't think you were as hurt as you thought by this person, but it hurts more when you don't cope with it, you know, and release it, you know? We need to let each other go. Yeah, I think you both need to let go of each other's pain. I don't know if you were trying to hold on to someone's tragedy or trauma and it was just hurting you. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that person's issues are not supposed to rest inside of you in your energy space. Give it back to them. And vice versa. Like, be like, hey, if there's any energy of mine, come back. Okay, come back over here. Like, we need to let each other go. And do it peacefully. You know? Because I think this person wants peace too. And they're still energetically connected to you. It's just like, it's not like you trying to protect this person from the lessons that they need to learn in order to grow and change doesn't help them. And that's like another reassurance that, like, you guys did the right thing by cutting off this situation at the start with the I need to let each other go. I think, like, you have to let go of the old version of you that was going to people please this person. And I think just a lot of the letting go is more involved than just this person. Because you're changing, you're growing up, you're doing the right thing. And I'm waiting for an apology. If anything, like, a piece of you is waiting for an apology. To say, hey, I'm sorry that I allowed this person to siphon this much of my energy and my life force. It was fun, but I didn't gain what I thought I did out of it. I'm sorry for not listening to me about this person. Or just going back. Or just being near you is intoxicating. Yeah, I don't know if drugs and alcohol were involved. Addiction. With the just being near you and the intoxication, this feels more of like, when you're around this person's energy field or the way they treated you, it kind of like puts you into a haze or a numbing, because this person's numbing themselves out constantly, but they're used to that versus you're not. And so there's something about this person that was very disorienting. What's weird too is we have 4 cards lined up here. Yeah, and it could be too that this person is also so high out of their mind or drunk or whatever, doing drugs, that they don't actually have the ability to be honest anymore, because they are kind of in a messed up state too. So, and I think that's kind of like the cycle of, they come out of it, they beat themselves up, then they go back, you know, and that's like their own journey and battle. And it's like, yeah, it's too late. Like, they can't change anything. Like, you're gonna go off and be successful, and you left them behind. And that was their choice, you know, what they chose to do with you. And it's the lesson, you know? It's not a judgment thing. I will show you some signs and synchronicities. You might start seeing some signs and synchronicities about them. Keep moving forward. Don't get caught up in that energy. Do you feel my touch? Yeah, I feel like energetically you may connect with them, and they may try to, like, lure you back in because they know you're spiritual or they know you're connected, but, like, just reject it. You know, it'll be like, yeah, I do. But I'm here, and you're there. And I don't need to acknowledge you every time. I didn't say what I said. Yeah, also, too, this person may come back, like, years down the road and be like, hey, I remember you. I remember when we were best friends, and be like, I changed. No. No. Don't fall for that shit. Because this is more psychological and deep than what you're thinking. So please protect your energy. I didn't mean what I said. Yeah, this person comes up with all the excuses. You know what I mean? Even if you lashed out at them one time, it did not warrant this. I didn't mean what I said. Yeah, you did. I don't know why. Yeah, this person's playing dumb, saying they didn't know. They did the whole time. They were just testing you. They didn't know that you were dumb enough to fall for some things and smart enough to block out other things. So they just played themselves. You know, you got lucky. It makes me happy to see you heal. Yeah. It's crazy because, I feel like you guys are like, yeah, it makes me happy to see other people heal and love and light and stuff. And this person does the exact opposite. They don't like seeing you heal. They like your body. They like this person wants what you have and they want to take things from you. If anything, what's crazy, this person wants an apology from you for leaving them behind. Like they can't accept that it's too late. They're like sitting there being like, I hope I will see you again sometime. I couldn't blah, 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 blah. Like, it's like crazy because everything that they're projecting, like you're coming from a positive love and light standpoint and they're coming from rejection and being deeply wounded. Yeah, because it's like literally like they can't feel what they do to other people, like that intoxication, that energy. Yeah, maybe pile 3, the red marker, might give you an insight to what they're feeling. With the do you feel my touch, it's almost like, ew, ew, ew. Okay, this energy feels like they feel like they're like sexually like better. They think that they're like, you're too good for me, but actually I'm too good for you. You can't handle me. Like, ew, this person's like really entitled. Ugh. Okay, I'm sorry, this is gross, so I'm gonna cut off the reading from here. But anyways, y'all know the vibes. Good riddance, good luck to y'all. I think you guys have a bright, shiny future, and just trust your experiences. You know, and like depending on the wounding you had from this person, I do feel like you're tough enough to get through it and you've already been doing all the healing work that would resolve this anyway. Just take a little extra time to be tender with yourself, because I do think because you love this person and maybe this person awakens something in you, you don't want to associate the wrong things or the wrong boundaries with this person. Or with somebody else. You know what I mean? I think you gotta like block out some of the energies for now and just sort your own shit out. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I hope you liked the reading. Send you guys love and light. And like, comment, subscribe to show my YouTube channel some love. Yeah, make sure you slow down a little bit too. I know you guys want to move fast, but like breathing helps working through all this work. And yeah, check out the links in my bio to information on my blog. You might find some topics that may be useful for navigating situations like this, or you can book me for a reading. Anyways, let me know all the tea. I will see you all next time. Take care. Sending love.